Why am I doing this? Who knows? I'm so freaking cold, dude. I guess I'm live, aren't I? So, yeah, it's intro time, I do believe. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's your host, Michelle, aka Chat-Mort, and thank you so much for turning once again to my humble little channel. Obviously, as always, this is just an impromptu stream to stop by and say hello. I really don't do any planned streams except for I'll do occasional like interviews with people, I guess. I appeared on somebody's podcast type thing Friday, kind of at the last minute, and that was a lot of fun. And I do stuff like that occasionally. I'm not very good at interviews, but I'm getting better at them. But really, the only like scheduled streams I do are the side quest streams. And if you don't know what those are, yay! Hello, Jared. A place where you are not silenced, my friend. It's good to see you. Really, it really doesn't matter what I do. I'm just obsessive compulsively screwing with my hair and now I look nuts. Whatever. The only like I almost said scripted. I keep wanting to say scripted. The only scheduled streams I do are the side quest ones, and those are on Magog of Morscar's live stream channel. And they're really cool. If you don't know what side quest is, it's super neat and everybody should watch it. It's sort of an improv comedy type stream where all of us co-hosts of Magog's as well as Magog we're role playing as fantasy characters from Voth, the world where Magog exists, you know, as a dark wizard person. And it's a lot of fun. The format of it, the premise of it is basically all of these characters from this fantasy world of Magog's using our viewing crystals that he has bestowed upon us to look upon the Earth realm and just be utterly flabbergasted by the lunacy of it. And it's so much fun. It's a blast, and it's such a privilege to be on that. And that it's coming back soon. That's the really only scheduled, like, normal routine stream I'm on. All of these are impromptu, but you guys pretty much know that by now. Hi, Nemo. Hi, Dylan. I hope everybody's doing okay. Nemo, I don't know if you watched my new video all the way to the end, but I hope you saw how I credited you, and I hope it's okay. So, check that out, I guess. Oh, my hair is tangled. Oh, dear. I wanted to stop by. Hi, Spinal Tap. I'm doing okay. I was just gonna kind of start rambling about that. I just decided to stream because I'm feeling kind of anxious and depressed, and I'm not sure why. For anybody new who shows up later to watch the like replay of this, I try to be not too candid, although I think I fail miserably at not giving out too much information to where it makes people uncomfortable. But I try to be kind of candid about things like anxiety and depression and just not feeling perfect all the time. I don't like this culture we have of pretending to be perfect, you know? It's extremely taboo to ever acknowledge that you're not okay. And a good chunk of the time, most people are not okay, you know? It's okay to not be okay. It shouldn't be this taboo, shameful thing where you have to go into hiding if you don't feel good, if you're in a bad mood one day or your depression is a little worse one day. And I know I have a small-ish platform, although it's growing faster than I ever could have imagined, and I'm so grateful for your support, you guys. But I want to do my part to kind of make it less taboo. I want to help break the stigma, to use a very overdone, cliched phrase for it. You know, it shouldn't be this like weird, shameful thing to talk about life not going perfectly. And that's how I justify whining on this channel. I'm drinking this old margarita mix. It's really gross. It's TGI Fridays brand, and it's so sour. It just tastes like rubbing alcohol. It's nasty. But I just felt really anxious and not good tonight, so I wanted to do something positive before I went to bed and say hi to everybody and not let tonight end on a bad note, you know? You guys cheer me up. You guys are the best. So I wanted to say hello. What's going on? We gonna get a Morty rant? I don't have anything specific, Spinal, that I'm gonna talk about unless you guys get me on certain topics. You know me, if you get me off on enough tangents, I can ramble till like 4 in the morning. I don't plan to. I really don't. I'd like to only be on here for like an hour, hour and a half at most. Hold on. I'm gonna send this to my friend. He might appreciate knowing I'm streaming. Hold on. Just a minute. Looky, there I am. Hush, 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 hush. No. I always mute myself. I don't want to hear my ridiculous voice. Copy link. Here, paste. Give me just a moment, you guys. Oops. I can't type to save my life. I got a new phone. I can't type and talk at the same time. And it was a gift. It was a Christmas gift that I didn't expect at all, and I cried like a moron when I got it. And fortunately, this phone is a lot bigger than my last one, and it helps a lot because I just can't type. I really can't. I don't know if it's just because I'm so uncoordinated, but I feel like my motor skills, like my muscle control, it feels like it's breaking down kind of rapidly over the last maybe half a year to a year, and it's pretty alarming, and I should go see a doctor. I really should, but it's like I went from being able to type fast to now sometimes it can take me 5 minutes to type a sentence because my control is just so bad. I don't know what's happening. I'm probably dying. Here. This is going to be stressful and I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to tweet this out too. Okay. Want all the mischief makers on Twitter to see me streaming. Oh, that's a nice thumbnail. I look like a deranged, like half schizophrenic soccer mom of 12 children. When you can see the fear in their eyes when she drops them off at school because she's out of her mind. This is not good margarita mix at all. I really like the Chi-Chi's brand margarita mix. It's really like, it's like full-bodied and sweet, but not too sweet. This stuff, the TGI Fridays brand, is just, it tastes like antiseptic. It's gross. Do not drink alcohol because you are having a bad night, kids. No unhealthy coping mechanisms, please and thank you. What's going on? Nemo said, wait, you thought I watched your videos? Don't be mean. Dylan said that Birds of Prey was a total feminist agenda, but he enjoyed it. And Nemo said, watch Sonic. I'm definitely going to see Sonic, that's for sure. I'm really pleased that it is getting good reviews and people are enjoying it. I saw somebody tweet something to the effect of, like, have video game movies finally broken the curse? You know, did they actually make a decent one? Yeah, Joke said we're going to have a great time this season, kid. I know, I'm excited. I enjoyed the time off for sure. It let me kind of take a break mentally, but I'm going to be excited to come back too. Zeralath said, just in a band practice break. Keep up the good work. Your medication video may help. Check Discord. Thank you. I appreciate that, dude. One problem mental health awareness will bring is fashionable illnesses. Yeah, that's very true. It absolutely has. It's so sad because I feel like there really was an era in the late 90s and early 2000s where the stigma around mental health issues and just, you know, LGBT stuff and not so much racial issues. I think those were kind of solved in the 80s and 90s mostly, but all this kind of new agey sort of social justice-esque stuff, or stuff that social justice has co-opted. There was a period where people who actually had problems and wanted a little bit more compassion and understanding from people, there was progress for a little while, and it took such a short amount of time for these ultra progressive, you know, super privileged kids to just take everything over and turn everything into trendy stuff, to where, you know, it's like there was a little bit of movement toward people understanding a little bit more about like mental illness, about being gay or whatever. And then because the far left destroyed it and twisted these movements to suit their own agendas, to capitalize on them, then the people who don't understand anything like that, the people who don't think that you can possibly have anything relevant to be worried about or to try to heal unless you're bleeding, the people who think that, like, you know, who you're attracted to sexually is a choice, those people have started pushing back really hard because the push by the far left to pervert these movements and shove them in everybody's faces in a totally misrepresented way has gotten so extreme. I'm sorry, my little nose is getting red from my margarita I'm drinking. I always have red spots there. I've been wearing my glasses more often than not, and you can see how pinched the bridge of my nose is because I'm on my last pair of contacts, and I have been for like months and just wear them for special occasions. I'm too lazy to call the eye doctor. Gamer Fuel, exactly. Hi, Shiogarath. Hi, Ben from Gulf City. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate that. He said, we love you, Michelle. Talk about how awesome Nemo isn't. That's nonsense. The VGC here he's really cool. He's a really, really cool, sweet, genuine person, and he's the opposite of not awesome. What's your name? Keely Chow. Hey, everybody. Hello, Keely. Welcome. Hi, Mad Matt. And hi, the 34th Stapler. I don't think I've seen you in a while, dude. If I've seen you before in my chat, welcome. Jose Cuervo is good as well. I love Jose Cuervo. Except, like, you go to the store and it's like $17 for a bottle, or you can get this crap for like $8. And I'm like, yeah, I'm at the period in my life in my mid-20s where I'm gonna have to just deal with the rubbing alcohol margarita. What is invisible and smells of worms? A bird's fart. Well, that's something I'll never forget. Thank you, I think. Oh, really? You dressed up as Harley Quinn the other day. That's really cool. Hi, next 6 minutes. Welcome, friend. Everything was better in the 90s. A lot of stuff really was. It's so sad that I mean, I know the pendulum is swinging back to an extent, but it really is unfortunate that the best days are probably behind us, at least. I know that's kind of a pessimistic thing to say, but I think it's realistic too. Like, race relations were probably the best they're ever going to be in America in the 80s and 90s, you know, before social justice began to really become an organized thing, before progressivism became so powerful that it was able to co-opt all of these movements to help minorities just be happy and accepted. And it's just so sad. You know, I mean, I know you guys have seen the video. I need to get much better with this format so I can pull stuff up at random when I want to. But I'm sure some of you guys have seen the video on Twitter where there's a black woman in a college. She's being filmed. I don't know that she knows she's being filmed, but they're on a college campus, and she makes the announcement to white people like, hey, there have been a lot of white people here. This is a safe space for people of color, and the number of white people that have been in this like study room or whatever, it's been making us feel unsafe, and it's been brought to our attention or noted or whatever. And she's saying, white people, you guys can't hang out in this room of the college as much. This should be a safe space for basically all non-white people, and she gets applause. And I know stuff like that happens constantly. I've had this hand cream for years, this like weird Norwegian formula Neutrogena hand cream, but my little paper mache hands are falling apart from the winter air, so I gotta correct. I know it doesn't look good to be sitting in front of my computer rambling, drinking alcohol, and putting lotion all over everything, but I have pure intentions, I assure you all. But I'm sure you guys have seen that video, and if anybody has it on hand, send it to me on Twitter or whatever, and I can share it in the chat. But it's just really sad how quickly racism has obliterated any sense of unity and brotherhood and camaraderie, I guess, that we had as a nation. The level of racism is just sickening. It's absolutely evil, And it's so sad. It's so sad. And it's disheartening too how oblivious the people are who are being used by progressivism. It's really, really disheartening. In a single generation, in the span of a generation or two, the importance of people being seen as equals and people not being judged based on their skin color has been completely thrown by the wayside in favor of people actually wanting to bring the division back because it might allow them to feel self-righteous in some way by parroting certain talking points. It's absolutely dismaying, you know? Hi, Seamus. Oh, you love Dan Aykroyd's vodka? I almost bought some after JonTron's video, and my fiance was like, I will leave you. We cannot be spending money on that. That's ridiculous. What's going on? Watching on mute because I'm something Apex. You're playing Apex? I don't know what you're saying, Nemo. You are being completely incoherent. I thought I'd tell you a good time travel joke, but you didn't like it. I like that a lot. No dabbing, Spinal. How dare you? Matt said, got a last minute plan set up to see Sonic tomorrow, going with one of my middle school friends. Oh, cool. Apparently he has a slow weekend while also stressing about work. Aw. Oh, wow. The company might be going under. That's awful. I hope he's okay. I hope everything goes all right, and it's awesome that you get to hang out with a friend. My hair looks greasy, but I just showered like 7 hours ago. You look like you're having fun, though. I'm having a good time right now, Nemo. I wanted to say hi. I just was getting really anxious and depressed earlier, and like I just like checked my phone, and social media is so depressing, especially Twitter, that I checked it, and like I felt my stomach go into knots and it just wouldn't come out. And it almost ruined my night. And I'm just like, I had such a good night. I'm not going to bed really upset about non-existent problems when I could, there's so many things I could do that would make me happy, and I could be hanging out with you guys and making your night a little better too. Like, why wouldn't I? My gosh, look at my like little bright red sausage fingers. My circulation is so screwed up. Hi, Cabaret. Hello, Gludgi. Gludgi. I forget how you say to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. There's the opposite of that, where people think it's an immoral thing to not be pansexual. It's like incel entitlement of being entitled to a significant other. Yeah, there's that whole thing of like, if you're not sexually attracted to somebody, you're bigoted against them. Homie, that's not how that works. Am I bigoted against people who are like super ripped bodybuilders because I think they're gross? Am I bigoted against blondes with blue eyes because I'm not typically attracted to them in real life? What? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, hi memes. Hi Jimbly. Ooh, chat jumped. Hello. Hi John. I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun Friday. I'm swaying because I'm too intoxicated to be self-conscious about the fact that I'm totally on camera and need to be acting, the minutest bit professional here or composed. Yeah, exactly. People think being racist is stopping racism. They do. They think that the best way to combat racism is to group all non-white people into one little group together and treat them all like these pathetic, infantile, helpless people who need, like, big daddy government to take care of them. I can't talk about it too much because it makes me livid. The scale of racism that's being justified and paraded around like it's a good thing, it's just sickening, frankly. I want to be like you and I do YouTube. Aw, well, just be really awkward, have enough self-deprecation that certain people get really annoyed. I'm not talking about anybody in particular, I know it sounds like that, but just enough to like make people be like, I'm not watching your videos, you want pity. Be a little autistic, have bizarre mystery health issues that are probably going to end your life in like 15 years at the most. Just be weird. Be extremely weird, but be comfortable with how weird you are because there's nothing else you can be, and you will. Voila! Here you are. You are me. Sorry, I keep clacking my titanium. No, it's tungsten. Keep clacking my tungsten ring against my cup. None of you care. I'm treating you like you're a bunch of ladies, but focus, you dumb piece of garbage. That's not the way to talk to my webcam. You guys can't see my ring. It's from... I did a... Ooh, do you see how, like, nasty and papery my hands are? I have, like, little old lady hands. This is my ring from 22kill.com. It's a website where the proceeds go to mental health resources for veterans, since 22 veterans on average commit suicide a day. I bought... It's super expensive to have them engraved, but I had like the Lone Star one because it's just like a classic, like hillbilly, you know, good old boy American symbol, and I really liked it. But all the merchandise from them, you know, it goes to a really good cause. And I had one of these rings. I had a ring identical to this one. I had the Texas one, and I like men's rings better because I like how thick they are, like the weight of them, they feel better. And I bought this ring like when I lived at home still, before I moved in with my fiance, I think. And I'm pretty sure it was the same size. It was the exact same ring, and I lost it. And I have no clue where I lost it. I truly don't. So I finally, years later, when I finally had to like come to terms with the fact that you're never going to find that thing that you spent so much money on, I finally like felt like I had waited long enough. I had looked hard enough for it, and I had earned enough money to justify spending the same amount of money again, because it was like $80 for this on another one. Because it does go to a good cause. So I keep clacking that on my cup. I'm so sorry. I hope that's not loud. Did I say hi to you, the infidel? Hello, welcome. I just drank this much. I'm going to be talking about like cartoon characters from children's shows I want to bang in like 10 minutes from all the alcohol I drank. This was a bad idea. I know I'm behind on chat, Chimbley. Shut up. What did I miss? You fools. Oh, hi, Geodes. I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, Geodes. After a while, I forget. It's so gross. Shio said, for sale, parachute, used once, never opened, small stain. It's horrible. Yes, Zeralath said, socialism and communism relies on population size control to match the resources available. And that, my dear friends, is where the coronavirus might have come from. I'm just saying, I don't know if you guys saw this. Give me just a moment and I'll see if I can pull it up on Twitter. I didn't bookmark it. I'm learning how to bookmark things so there aren't incriminating things in my likes. Oh my god. The first tweet I see is at Diaper Rising. Chat-Mort is live. Thank you, sir. I love you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for being thank you for being so sweet. I adore you guys. Here, let me find it. Poe tweeted it out. Poe is such a freaking mischief maker, dude. Copy link to tweet. Be careful. Don't look at Poe's Twitter because it's like horrible, like live leak stuff, but worse most of the time. But this tweet, I'm way too drunk to be like sharing Poe's tweets on YouTube. That's really stupid. But there's an article from TaiwanNews.com about how the Wuhan virus has mutated to where instead of people being able to build an immunity to it, it can reinfect the people who have recovered from it, and then it causes them heart attacks. That doesn't sound real. That is freaking horrifying. Or I could have just shared the Taiwan news thing. But it's horrifying, frankly. You know, somebody in the comments responded to that one and said, yeah, tell me this was not, no one can convince me this wasn't a bioweapon that got leaked or that they weren't testing. Nobody. Hello. Focus. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, camera. Like, this was a bioweapon that leaked, is what that person was saying. And I know that sounds conspiracy theory-esque, but I am strongly inclined to believe that this was a bioweapons leak. And I believe that Wuhan is also one of the few locations of a known like bioweapons type research lab that we know of in China. So that's it's pretty neat. We're all gonna die, huh? Yay. It's a nasty alcohol, dude. It's so gross. Oh my god, it's so bitter. Blech. And thank you, John. I saw you said it was awesome chatting with you. You rock. You're trash too. Nice. You can't quality control my stream then and realize how shitty it is. Thank you. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not used to this. I have 30 viewers. There's not that many of you here, but it makes me so uncomfortable to miss a single message from you guys. It makes me so profoundly uncomfortable, and I give this disclaimer all the time. I know people are super annoyed and tired of my disclaimers, but I truly want you guys to know that I'm not comfortable with the amount of viewership I get. I'm thrilled and honored and grateful for your support, but it's taking me a really long time to adjust to the fact that I can't talk at length to every single one of you in the chat. I do not like the feeling of missing messages from people that you typed out to tell me, especially because these streams are explicitly to talk to you guys. I don't do interviews. I don't have like guests on. So, you know what I mean? I just want to apologize and make sure you guys know that this gradual shift that happens, the more viewers I get and the more subscribers I get, it's hard on me. And I truly am sorry that I have to kind of pick and choose and glance through the messages and pick which ones to respond to. I'm just not accustomed to this. Like, I think if my channel ever gets to like 5K subscribers, I'm gonna make another channel and like tell maybe 10 or 20 people about it and not ever publicly advertise it from this channel and just like sneak there and stream so I can replicate this feeling I had like 6 months ago where I can talk to you guys one-on-one comfortably and not get super behind. Yeah, most rape scorn. I said your name, freaking crap. I tried to just say scorn, but I forgot. Most progressives don't realize what the end result is. They got the wrong idea about socialism. It's so sad. It's so sad. It brings me such frustration that so many of these like breadtuber type people who are really funny and likable and just decent normal people push socialism. They genuinely do not know any better, and it's so frustrating when there's such an abundance of examples throughout history and going on right now of how socialism destroys things. It only heightens the disparity between the wealthy and the poor, you know? It just changes it from some of the wealthy being free people to most of them being people who got in the government, who got on top as the change was happening. And the poor is just all of us, you know? So there's income equality. We're all destitute and terrified and struggling to pay for the electricity and for our houses and food for our families. And it's so sad. It's like there's so many places where you can go to suffer under socialism in the world. Why ruin the last bastion of freedom? Why ruin the one closest example possible to like free market capitalism possible? Why not let this one place exist and go to one of the other multitude of places where socialism exists? Why snuff out this one place that is the closest thing to capitalism there is? And it's because it's a threat, you know? Capitalism has lifted billions of people out of poverty and saved so many lives, and it's brought so many medical and technological advances to a ton of places worldwide, and that's a threat because it's always going to be... I mean, America is deeply flawed, obviously, but America, no matter how much it's trashed, is still going to stand out as this shining beacon of hope and opportunity for people to self-actualize and fulfill their dreams and fulfill their potential. You know, it has to be snuffed out because no matter how much people demonize it, it's still doing such great things, and it's liberating so many people worldwide who don't even live under capitalism. So it's really sad and really frustrating. Oh my god, Spinal Tap said no dabbing. Rada whoop fam. What a cursed grotesque, like, little running joke you people have come up with. You're monstrous. If the liberals or Democrats ever take over, I'm moving to Mother Russia. Thank you, Jared. That's so sweet. It's good to be able to talk to people who care when you're feeling down. And I had the nicest day too. Like, we went over to one of my best friend's houses, and this was my first D&D campaign ever. It was their second, and it was my first. So it was a blast. I had no clue what I was doing. I eventually settled on being a wood elf, and I was a ranger. And I was completely at a loss for a name. And it was like me and my fiance had our character sheets, and everyone else already did. They're called campaigns, right? They already did one. They're already at level 2, and we showed up. We haven't prepared any. We printed out the character creation sheets today. And I was hustling, trying to get it done so we could just start the game. My makeup ran in the shower, and I just put new makeup on top of it so it looks like I've got black eyes. It do be like that sometimes, whatever. I like that phrase. It's very silly. But I was just at a total loss as to what to name my character. So I Googled, I believe I Googled something to the effect of, like, elf name creator. And one of the first results that came up was myelfname.com. It's one of these, like, nightmarish things. I'm just going to show you on here. Like, this is what I found. And you put in your initial name is what the drop-down menu is titled, and the month you were born. And then you hit, what's my name? So, obviously this is not the right kind of elf, I know, and that's what makes it grotesque and hilarious. So, oh, it redid it. Oh, dear. My name before, oh my god, what was my first name? My name it came up with, my elf name was Ollie Whoopie Doo, and, like, Whoopie dash Doo was my last name. So my wood elf ranger was named Ollie Whoopie Doo in this fucking campaign. It was so much fun. Like, I had a blast. I had a great night with some of my best friends, and then I still came home. I just, like, played on social media a little bit, got depressed by it, and it, like, almost ruined my whole night. So I was just like, I'm not letting that happen. I'm not letting some stupid, irrelevant nonsense depress me. And social media is just, especially things like Twitter, they're just toxic. They're like poison. You know, you have to be so cognizant of the effect they're having on you. You have to be able to step away, and you can't let yourself get, like, wrapped up in the numbers game, or how many people don't like you, or how many people like somebody you don't like, or how many people believe something that's hideous and awful. You can't, because Twitter is such a warped, it's just like a parody of reality. It's a parody of even politics and social media. It's the worst of everything. And it's truly like a psychological experiment to see how screwed up and divisive and miserable and empty decent people can become by using that site for long enough. And it's just like, you have to be cognizant of its effect on you. Like, when you start getting depressed, close it down. You know, go do something else. Go on Facebook, get off of it, go back to your job or doing chores around the house, or text a friend or something. It's so important not to let yourself get addicted to it and dependent on it, because it's not real. And I'm getting better at that. I'm not as dependent on it. I don't think it has as much of a sway over me as it used to. And I'm immensely grateful for some of the friends I've made from Twitter. Truly I am. And I do have a blast on it. But I personally, for me, the best way to use Twitter is to, when something interesting happens, I'll go on there and I'll like make a thread about something, or I'll make a tweet that I think is funny or about some thought I just had. And then I leave. You know, if I go through my timeline, it just makes me miserable. And I have a couple select people. I have like a dozen people who I have alerts on for, so it'll come up in my notifications when they tweet, and I check their stuff too. But for the most part, if I look at my timeline, it like ruins my day. It like makes my day 10 to 30% worse automatically if I start scrolling through my timeline. It's, that's just how it is. I'm trying not to let it have an effect on me, but it does, as it does on everybody. Oh my god. What is the worst combination of two sicknesses, diarrhea and Alzheimer's? You're running, but you don't know where or why. It's so freaking dark. Oh my god. Hi, Richo. Who's that fat lover girl you constantly simping over? That's that's Essence. Oh my god, I just realized in my left jacket pocket, I have a Blistex, and in my left pocket of my sweatpants is my other Blistex. I've been like looking, I only ever know where one of these are at a time. I'm always juggling them, and I'm always losing one and then finding one of them 2 days later. And I have both of them in my left pockets right now. That's hilarious. I like frantically, like obsessive compulsively put my my lip balm on when I'm anxious or trying to find something to do with my hands. Hold on, I'm sitting on my foot. It's asleep. Ugh. Yeah, Nemo said, "Who's that fat lover girl you constantly simping over?" Yeah, that's Essence. And she's genuinely the sweetest, kindest, most unique, talented, just decent person in the world. And it's, obviously she's got like a very specific brand of shit posting and sense of humor and things. But she is genuinely one of the most wonderful people in the world. And I'm I'm super gay, but I'm so grateful to know her and to be her friend. And it is dumbfounding to me how hateful people are toward her. Utterly dumbfounding. And, it's just fascinating because the hate comes from everywhere. And I don't want to go into depth. You can see the way people treat her online. It's just surreal, but it just, like, I've realized I'm not as dead inside as I think I am. I just don't care when people treat me like crap. It doesn't really bother me that much. But I realize that if I see people that I love get treated like crap, I become livid. And it is so hard not to, like, turn into, like, turbo, like, Super Saiyan 4 simp when I see people treating her badly, because she is just the gentlest, sweetest person. And, it's one of those things, it's like, I sort of get why her stuff would be polarizing. I get that people don't like her sense of humor. I get that people could be like, oh, that's inappropriate humor or whatever, or I just think she's weird, or it makes me uncomfortable, or it's not funny. You're entitled to your opinion, absolutely. So I get why some people aren't fans of her, but, the correct way to deal with that is to, like, unfollow her, or if it enrages you to see people like me simping for her all the time, just block her, and then you don't have to see her. And it's like people are addicted to how much they hate her. The amount of nastiness and outright slander or libel, I forget which is which, I'm sorry, it's been a while since my last law class, but the amount of hatred and the amount of rumors spread about her and just the animosity and the vitriol toward her is utterly dumbfounding. It truly is. I do not understand it. But yeah, Essence she's just an incredible human being, and I'm so grateful to be her friend, and I'm dumbfounded that she wants to be my friend and likes me as much as she does. It's like self-esteem and self-worth should come from you. You can't seek and get your self-esteem from other people. You have to learn to be able to draw from your own feeling of self-sufficiency and worthiness. But when people that you look up to a lot, people that you think highly of you, like her, like that is a huge self-esteem boost for sure. I know that's like super gay, but exactly, we're going in the reverse direction since the 1960s. Shame. I know, if you talk to your webcam that way, it'll never focus. Hi, Assassin. Thank you so much. I shilled the show across the Discord's Elf Maiden. You were the best, Assassin. You were like I'm so drunk I was gonna be like, you are an assassin because you're killing it with shilling my god. I'm like, thank you. I'm just gonna thank you and move on like a normal human being. Hi, Allie. Oh, your old coworker had a tungsten wedding band. That's very cool. I have like a pimple or something, or like one of the cats scratched me on my shin and it hurts so bad. Why are you doing that now? You stop that. It hurts. I'm scratching it because that'll make it feel better. Dude, I thought, oh my god, I thought I was at the bottom of the chat and just jumped like crazy. Whoa. Shit. The friend I'm going with is one I've known since '94. As for the company thing, he's aware that it's happening at least. He's a company programmer, so he likely has lots of options that he can check on. Good. Hi, Darius. I almost said like Dryas. I'm always thinking that people's names are these like really weird Scandinavian things. Hi, Darius. Texas is such a great state. Did you ever watch the 2003 Clone Wars show? I have not. I have not watched. That's Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, right? I saw a little bit of the new Clone Wars, but I know Grievous is like a total badass in that, and most of you guys know I'm a total like General Grievous fangirl. So I've gotta catch up. I've gotta watch it eventually. Catch up. It's been over for what, a decade, but. Yeah, Uncle Jeezy said the whole reaction to the coronavirus or whatever has got me bummed out. Not the actual virus, but society's inability to deal with it. It is scary, but then it is communist China where it's happening. Most countries would have it on lockdown. Most countries would manage it much more efficiently. And I know a lot of people have the theory that China is using this to weed out the poor amongst them because their population is so massive that they cannot keep them subjugated effectively. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying it's a pretty interesting, noteworthy theory people have come up with, you know? Hi, Lore Spade. Oh my god. Our stupid, like, ex-feral cat that's like a semi-stray cat, but it's got all its shots and I'm trying to integrate it into the household is outside. I'm going to have to let him in and come back. I'm so sorry, you guys. He's miserable, and he hears me talking, so he comes to the basement windows and cries at me, and it's just so pitiful. It's freezing out, and he's outside crying at me. We're getting a zombie apocalypse. Yes. Yeah, Spinal said, I've lived through 2 Ebola outbreaks, bird flu, foot and mouth disease, and mad cow disease, and I'll live through this coronavirus. Yeah, you will. Alright, I'm so sorry, you guys. I will be right back. I gotta let Edgar in. I'm gonna take this upstairs so I don't forget it. I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't get into any mischief now, friends. This is a bad stream. I'm sorry. I know, I'm trying to stream and you made it even worse than normal. Hi, handsome boy. Come here. Come here, baby. No, come here, kitty. Come on in. Come on, honey. Come on. I want to show you to everybody. I know you don't want picked up, but I want to show you to everyone. Come here, kitty. Come here, handsome. Edgar, come here, honey. Honey. Well, do you want to be in here or not, baby? You want to go out? Because I'm going to be in here, okay? Alright, you be good. Don't bully anybody. Whatever. Edgar does not want to be on camera, so he's not going to be on camera. It's hard to wrangle like 15 pounds of semi-feral cat. You know, it just is. There doesn't need to be any end of that sentence. That's the whole statement. Juggernaut said, probably a valid estimate to toss an extra 0 on the end of the numbers coming out of China. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like the Chinese government, you trust them. And I know some people don't like Sinatra. I have friends who don't like Sinatra, and that's totally fine. But yeah, like Sinatra on Twitter was being berated by a couple people who were calling him a conspiracy theorist for not believing the Chinese government on their like infection and mortality rates. You trust the Chinese government? That's a little silly, my friends, you know? The world economy will take a big hit also. Yeah, possibly. Hi, Mitch. Welcome, friend. Yeah, I agree it's a bioweapon that escaped. I think that's a pretty I can't think of words. I've definitely passed that threshold. There's like that little zone where it's like I'm calm and charismatic and I feel good enough to talk, you know? That little edge of social anxiety is gone. I've gone far past that to like I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That's too much margarita. I'm sorry, everyone. It's a compelling theory. That was the CO word with a P in it somewhere that I was... Right. Get you a woman... Good God, dude. Get you a woman that can burp like that, Chat-Morty. I will never have a woman, sadly. Sadly and not sadly. I am in a committed monogamous relationship that I intend to try to stay in until I die. So, I will not be getting me a woman anytime soon, unfortunately. Unless it's like platonic, like friend, woman, girlfriends. I don't even know what, like, you know how people who identify as asexual still are in relationships? Unless it's something like that, it's like platonic, but you also think they're really cute. I'm not going to be getting me any women's, any whammons. Pizza is civil. Sometimes. What did I miss? Jared said. Something was funny. I had to take out the trash. You did not miss anything. That's silly. What's going on? Dylan said Venezuela, Bolivia, Greece, Congo, and California are examples of socialism. Yeah, they are. Venezuela is insane. Like, have you ever looked on Google Maps? Have you ever used Google Maps for anything? I know I used it in, like, high school for something, but it's fun to, like, just get Google Maps and, like, stalk your neighbors and stuff and see, like, what buildings they've built without, like, telling the government so they don't have to pay taxes on them. Just look at Venezuela over the last, like, 10 years on Google Maps. It is insane. And it surprises me that Google Maps is not censored, because it shows you what socialism does to companies that were previously capitalist countries. Like, if you start a country out as a socialist country, and if the country is small enough and culturally homogenous enough, socialism can work to an extent. But when you take a capitalist, free market, primarily free market country, a mostly democracy type country, and you turn it into socialism, it is not good. It is very, 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 very bad. Mr. Wise Ass, hi. And hi, Larry. Genetically modified bioweapons released on the Chinese. Tell me this doesn't sound exactly like China's government. I know, Seamus, I know. And it's funny, I was talking to my mom the other day because she's like a classic Republican. I was talking to her about all the evidence that this is a bioweapon. and she listens to like all the stereotypical like talk radio people, and she said like, I wonder why Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and people like that haven't, they're covering this pretty closely, you know, that's where she's getting all her information on it, whatever that says about her, you know, sources. But she was saying, I wonder why they haven't even touched on these issues, on the theory, the pretty compelling theory that this could be a bioweapon. But then she thought about it and basically answered her own question. She's like, well, you know, President Trump is trying to offer China aid on this issue, and it's also an opportunity for him to try to boost the relationship and make the relationship stronger and more beneficial between us and China as nations. So it makes sense that people who are kind of like in his pocket, if you will, or people who are on his team and are vocal proponents of him and supporters of him, it makes sense that they're not going to say something that's going to make the Chinese government look bad. So it was funny, you know, my mom isn't, she's a pretty average person in a lot of ways, but she's really cool and charming and unique in other ways. She's definitely unique, hence me, you know, but it was interesting for her to have been that perceptive. Like, she answered her own question immediately, and she was also able to be a little bit cynical and critical about the people that she loves, you know, her talk radio hosts that she loves. She was able to even be like, you know, there could be a very believable motive for why they wouldn't bring that up. I know that's a kind of a tangent. I'd let Edgar back out of the room, and now he's crying on the stairs. Cats are like children. They're not as annoying, but they're like toddlers, very much. Let's see what else is going on. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna try and catch up. I'm gonna do my best here. I don't know how to say your name. Hi, FF King. Welcome, my friend. Hi, American Phoenix. Yo, 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 what's good, my family members? You guys are sweet. The government is not going to prepare for the coronavirus. That's up to you. Well, that's true. You can never expect the government to take care of you. It's lunacy to expect the government to take care of anything for us, you know? You can hope that they will, but you need to prepare yourself, because you can't trust anybody who trusts the government. Trusting the government is nuts. Everybody needs to know better than to do that. My God, it jumped so much. It's insane. What is wrong with you? I hate you, chat. I don't hate you guys. I hate the chat itself for jumping like this. Hi, RJ. I'm so sorry I missed you a little bit ago. Yay! Hi, Race. Oh, I missed so much. Oh my God, this is a disaster, you guys. I'm so sorry. Autist moment. It probably was, but I don't remember. Hi, Michael. Hope you are doing well tonight. Thank you so much. I am. Are you talking to her privately? Jimbly said. Yeah, we talk in private. We talk aside from the Twitter, like, mutual simping thing that goes on. She is the sweetest girl in the world. She's wonderful. GD Warrior, you have BF? I have a fiance. I have somebody who I certainly intend to be with for the rest of my life. I'm going to do my best and try to be my best. He's the best. He really is. He's funny and kind and my best friend. And I met him in anime club in college, so we have our relationship is built on a very strong foundation, clearly. I'm so sorry I'm missing so much, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, I ban anyone that is annoying instead of arguing with them. Exactly. And it's like people ridicule, what am I seeing? I'm like scratching, I'm maiming myself and I don't even notice. But I get blotchy when I drink alcohol too, so you can see I'm a little bit blotchy, but that's weird. I think I scratched myself accidentally. You know, yeah, people like ridicule you if you use the block feature on Twitter, but it's not worth it. You know, what a bunch of people who treat Twitter like this sport think is not more important than cultivating your experience and your timeline to make it something that's actually beneficial for you. Social media isn't a game. Social media isn't like a metric to measure your worth and your intellect as a human being. And you can't let people who look at it in this weird aggressive elitist way that's super tied into their own insecurities, you can't adopt that mentality. You can't let that ruin your experience. Like when it stops serving you, when it stops being a utility or an entertainment source that is benefiting you in some way, like you have to change things. I admire and appreciate that you do that. Exactly. Seamus said socialism looks great on paper until you look in a history book. Yeah. What else is going on? Carl Rove. I've seen you in here, I think, before in the chat, Carl. Welcome to my chat, Carl Rove. Name a female celebrity that you think is attractive. Me? I can name a couple. Charlize Theron. My fiance and I were having a discussion the other day about like what's attractive about her. I, I just totally blurted out without even thinking about it. I totally blurted out like she gives off like stepmom who would flog you if you talked back too many times vibes, and that's why I'm into her. I just blurted that out. You know, sometimes like the deepest recesses of your subconscious will just like eject something straight out of your mouth that you had no preparation for. I think Charlize Theron is gorgeous. I have a massive crush on Christina Hendricks. She is obscenely beautiful. Catherine Zeta-Jones, super milfy. I think Kate Beckinsale is breathtakingly beautiful. What is that girl's name? Dakota Fanning's younger sister, Elle Fanning, she's so pretty. I think she was the main character in that really weird movie, The Neon Demon. That's a good movie. It's so crazy. There are a lot of others. There are a lot of female celebrities that I have crushes on, that I find attractive, whatever. But those are the main ones I would have to say. Kate Beckinsale, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Christina Hendricks, probably. Mad Matt said, I am the Kenshiro of Twitter. Finding others attacked looks back at the attackers. You are already dead. Yeah, I simp hard for Ver because she's a wonderful person. She is such a genuine, kind, beautiful person in every way. She's so talented and so sweet, and I know it's stupid because it's just the internet, but it makes me livid when people treat her badly. It just makes me livid. Hatred can be addictive, exactly. When one is empty, the void can be filled with almost anything. And that is exactly why the stuff that I talked about in my last video took place. Very smooth. Oh my god. Oh my god, the new thumbnail's even worse. Jesus. That is abysmal, dudes. Okay, here. I was trying to be smooth, and this is what happens. I'm wearing almost an identical outfit to my last video. That looks gross and bad. Here. I'm just gonna, like, really deftly incorporate that video into the stream. But yeah, like my last video, I discussed that, actually, how when people feel empty inside, they do fill that hole with hatred. You know, hatred is a very visceral, very instinctive emotion. Bleh. And it's powerful, and it's scary, and it takes a conscious effort not to let hatred control you and limit you. And a lot of people are not willing to or capable of doing that anymore. Did you watch the Yuri interviews? I don't know if you're talking to me or not, Squirm, but no. Darth Maul is better than Grievous. And basically you're wrong, so yeah, you're canceled. No, good sir. Grievous is amazing. I I watched the prequel movies when they were coming out because I was a kid at the time, and I had like a massive crush on General Grievous. Like the cowardly kind of creepy squirrely Grievous that was portrayed in the prequels even. I had like a massive crush on him even then. So it's been like 15 years that I've been into General Grievous. That's a weird thing to think about. Um, what else? Hi, John. Feliciano. Hello. What's going on? Oh my god. Are you currently writing any Angela White and General Grievous fanfic? That's a pairing that's never occurred to me ever, actually. I would love to like meet Angela White someday. Like get her autograph and talk to her. She seems like a really, really interesting human being aside from her profession. I think Angela is really cool. Exactly, yeah. Silly fur baby needs to be let in. That gives me perspective on how far behind I am. That's really scary. uh, Somebody's quoting Oni, of course. Please tell me she named her cat Edgar Allan Poe. I just named him Edgar. Actually, my fiance named him. That was not long after I saved him from the brink of starvation and began to socialize him. And I don't know. I don't know if it counts as a feral cat if they can be socialized. I think cats that are truly feral are cats that cannot be socialized because they're so traumatized and distrusting of people. But he was, I will call him semi-feral. And he was maybe around a year old and starving to death years ago when I saved him. One, do you know how hard it is to relocate a cat that has lived outside its whole life in one little area? Two, do you know how hard it is to integrate a semi-feral cat that's almost a decade old into a family of like basically kittens that are all indoor cats that have never met an outsider since they were wee little? The freaking cat whisperer guy would be in awe of me. That's all I have to say. Memes went to bed like 3 hours ago. Good night. Worst mischief ever. Sinatra is awesome. You kiss him every night. um, and I totally get it. Like, it's hard having friends who don't like each other, and I wouldn't call Sinatra and I friends. You know, we're definitely on a friendly basis. We have casual conversation, but I don't know Sanut well enough to call him a friend. But I like his work, and I think he's a cool guy from what I know. Yeah, Squirm said if the leaked image, yes, that leaked image is true, it is much worse. 750K infected, 250K. Isn't that funny how like social media like shifted the entirety of the population so quickly over from saying like 750,000 to 750K? It's totally different, and I wonder what the psychological reasoning behind that forced push is. But yeah, I'm not criticizing you, Squirm. I'm criticizing myself as somebody who has adopted so quickly the way that these social media sites categorize metrics, if you will. But yeah, 750K infected, 250K possible, 250 cured. Yeah, 25,000 dead. It's so scary. Um, Oh, I'm so sorry. No, dum dum. I was saying us get a woman like you. I don't know about that. I'm exhausting. My fiance, I feel so bad for him. He's the most patient soul in the world to put up with my antics. He really is. I know Obi has the high ground. I know. Um, Phoenix said, I use Google Maps to check my directions for my job, also for where to hide the bodies. Oh my god, that's very dark. What else? I'm trying to catch up. I'm getting there. You cannot take a country with 350 million citizens and unchecked illegal immigration and make it socialist, lol. That's the problem, Jared. That's the exact problem. Like if you think socialism works, that's it's a valid opinion. That's totally fine and respectable. But you don't get to destroy a country to try to make it socialist and create an even greater disparity between all of us and the 1%. It's going to become like the 0.001%. That's the only difference. People who are able to do good with the capital that they pulled in are just going to be brought down to the poverty level. Tons of them. Like, that's the only difference it's going to make. There's so many socialist countries you can move to instead of being so greedy and self-serving and ignorant that you try to destroy one of the few countries that is not socialist, you know? Like, move to a socialist country. Why do you have to take one of the few, like, close to true capitalist countries in the world and bring it down to the same level as the others? Just move to a country with a system that you believe is morally sound. You know, I don't mean that to be mean or dismissive. I mean it truly. Oh boy. Yeah, Jimbly said, imagine being president. I get so nasally. The longer I stream, I get real nasally, and I don't know why. Like, my nose clogs up. It's so weird. Nobody cares. Nobody needed to know that. I'm sorry. Imagine being president of whatever country got infected with a virus that's entirely China's fault, and now you have to take the fall for it. Oh boy. Man, it jumped again. What the fuck? Stupid. Stupid chat. Stupid stinky chat. What is happening? Damn it, it jumped again. I really thought I was caught up. I'm that dumb. Oh my god. Stupid chat. Why are you jumping like that? Oh my nose is so itchy. This is a disaster stream. This is why you don't drink a big glass of margarita mix and then stream. This happens. You guys get to see I am the most grotesque version of... Oh, I'm the whitest girl in the world. Like, watch my face from me rubbing my nose because it itched. It's insane how sensitive my skin is. Dude, what the hell? Oh my god, I really thought I was close to caught up. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. How do I pronounce your name? Sardazer? I apologize if I mispronounce that, but welcome, Sardazer. Yeah, Ray said, the facts of the coronavirus both support the idea that it's natural and that it's a bioweapon. At this point, it's best to play the odds, so odds are that it's natural. Well, I admire you for being more pragmatic about it than a lot of people are. People take one side or the other and call everyone else nuts. Oh my god, Phoenix said, so I retweeted your link and also called out Brittany Venti, letting her know she's no longer the only belching waifu. I know Brittany Venti is very polarizing, and I know that her character is meant to be detestable. And it's funny how many people are so blinded by rage because Brittany is mean to their favorite creators that they can't tell that she's playing a character, even though she's explicitly said on her channel that she's playing a character. But I admire Brittany for having the fortitude to play her character so well all the time. That's one thing that made me, I mean, she's a very polarizing figure, and she intends to be one, and she does it very effectively, obviously. But one of the things that pushed me toward being an actual very, very genuine, like, fervent fan of hers was one of the videos where she just, like, belched out of nowhere. She was, like, playing her very kind of, like, ditzy, very sweet, sort of, like, judgmental trad persona, her, like, airhead persona, and then she just did this, like, terrifying, apocalyptic, like, dimension-tearing belch out of nowhere, and then just kept talking. I know it's really stupid, but, like, I don't... It doesn't take much to seduce me. Like, if I see a pretty girl and she's talking normally, she does this like ear splitting belch and then just goes back into talking, I will subscribe to her immediately and favorite the video. That is literally all it takes. I think that's so funny. Um, Marry him already, stop living in sin, get right before God. I know, Nemo, I know. Would you say you have the power of God and anime on your side? Absolutely. I certainly do, and that's why I'm an unstoppable force of cringe and horror. Yeah, Allie said it all depends on the reason for blocking the person. If it's genuine harassment or stalking, then it's valid. Block for someone simply having a different opinion than you, you're pathetic. That's an absolutely valid way to look at it too. You do not know what my searches look like, Jared. You don't. Yeah, Ray said, is it true what they say about bisexual girls that they all choose, like, heterosexual relationships in the end? I'm not sure. Possibly? I don't know. I think a lot of girls do eventually, who are attracted to both sexes, do settle down in heterosexual relationships. It would certainly make sense, because a lot of people want to have biological children, you know? In some ways, just because it is more natural to be in a heterosexual relationship, the dynamic is in some ways easier. It's it's so much more complex than that, and it's almost absurd to even try to simplify it down that way, but it's always going to be a little bit more challenging to navigate a same-sex relationship because it's not natural. It's truly not. And I, as somebody who has been in essentially same-sex relationships, or I've had same-sex relationships, I'm not trying to belittle anyone or belittle the validity of your sexual proclivities or your sexual orientation. I'm not saying that at all, but there's always going to be an added level of challenge and difficulty in same-sex relationships. You know, the dynamics are inherently going to be somewhat different. The nature of them is just different. So it does make sense to me. And the other thing is, like, people who are like these super leftist Tumblr kids treat bisexual women who get with men as traitors. And the thing is, far more people are straight than are bisexual or gay. So statistically, the vast majority of bisexual people are going to end up in straight relationships. Just statistically, it's far more likely, if you are attracted to both sexes, that you are going to find someone with a mutual attraction who is compatible with you personality-wise, life goals-wise, lifestyle-wise, that is of the opposite sex. And it's funny that people don't understand that or refuse to acknowledge that. I do not have a mommy fetish. I'm into older men and older women. I had a crush on Dakota Fanning when I was like 9 to 13. I don't remember if I thought she was cute or not. I definitely didn't have a crush on her, but I think her younger sister is much prettier objectively. Hi, dumb bench hours. Have you watched any new anime or cartoons lately? I wish the West would make better adult cartoons instead of Family Guy clones. I agree. I have not really watched any new anime or cartoons. I'm watching My Hero Academia right now. I've been keeping up with the new season of Rick and Morty, obviously, because that's just what one does. And I watched the first, like, not I watched around the first 2/3, a little more of Star Versus, but that's not new either necessarily. But yeah, I really wish that there was more of a variety. It's so sad, and it's sad too, because like there's so much potential out there. There's so much variety, and so many people have unique art styles and unique storytelling styles. But I truly think it's primarily the the studios and the networks that tell you you have to have this homogenous, overdone, intentionally ugly style that is almost a slap in the face to your viewers to tell them you're stupid and that's why you'd like this, or we're not going to pick your show up, you know? There used to be a lot more variety in adult animation, and there still is a lot of it, but I think the fact that all these shows try to be as ugly as possible and try to emulate that Family Guy style is in regard to their writing and especially their aesthetics, that's a lot of why more and more people are gravitating toward anime, because it doesn't insult you. It isn't like the very bones of most anime is not a direct slap in the face and an insult to your intelligence as a viewer. It treats you like you're capable of appreciating a story and an art style that isn't ugly. I don't get the hate Ver gets riles me up. It's hard not to white knight for her. I agree, and I know, like, she doesn't need me to defend her, obviously. She's perfectly capable of handling herself. But it's not about that. You know, it's not about protecting her. It's about just becoming livid when people are awful, you know, to somebody who's a really decent person. It just makes me livid. When will Chat-Mort Records drop the next epic jam? I need to get my groove on. I will eventually Golden Age. I think the more people I'm watching who do a lot of like mixing and producing in FL Studio, the more I recognize my own incompetence and inexperience. I've been looking a little bit at the resources you sent me. I need to look at them a little more thoroughly. I need to sit down and look at everything without like being distracted by all the other things I do, but I'm going to put more things on my SoundCloud, assuming that's what you're referring to, and I'm not just drunk out of my mind and delirious. I am going to put more stuff on my SoundCloud soon. I've just been watching a lot of producers and trying to study and learn from them on YouTube. Clone Wars Grievous was great, really fleshed out the character. Yeah, I agree. Mort socialized her cat, Soviet kitty. Excuse me, I apologize. How many cats does it make to take Garfield? I really don't know. Yeah, I know. I don't know where it went. Chat jumped, but yeah, I know a lot of people have postulated or are pretty sure that they're burning the bodies in China in response to the massive number of people killed by the coronavirus. I've seen that. Jared said, just checked Twitter. Virescence is kicked. I don't think she's kicked. I know she was talking about deactivating quite a while back. I don't know if you guys remembered that, but you know, I don't know. It maybe she deactivated. I'm not sure. Yeah, since she posted this, I guess I can read it out loud. Yeah, Ver tweeted 17 minutes ago, hello, I am reactivating to say I'm going to deactivate for a bit. IDK how long, but no, I am not suspended. I just need to not use the site as much as I do, and also people are really dumb on here, so I'm taking a break. Also, I have an alt, but it's locked, thanks. So yeah, Ver just deactivated for now. So, you know, since she posted it publicly, I don't think she would mind me saying so. So don't worry, she didn't get like finally reported into oblivion by some like, you know, amateur adult film stars, simps or something. Warm compresses will help with the congested nose. Maybe it's an allergic reaction. I don't know. I know wine makes people like sniffly and sneezy a lot. But I don't know about this. It's just the talking, I truly think. Jimbly said something degenerate and then deleted it immediately. Very cool, my dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know, Jared. I apologize. She didn't get kicked. She just deactivated. Brent said, no, they just want someone to work while you stay home. I don't know what that's in response to. I'm sorry. I got really behind. Yeah, American Phoenix said bisexual people are greedy. Welcome to Demon School. Iruma-kun is so wholesome. Every time I watch it, I have the cheesiest grin on. I'll have to look into it. I haven't watched a lot of new anime. I don't watch a lot. Like, I watch things I'm committed to that I'm invested in, and I don't try much that's new very often. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. uh, Yeah, I'm struggling to make my own original music as well, Mad Matt said. But the more I do, the more I have an ear for what I'm trying to make. Yeah, it is one of those things you just have to make music. You have to start somewhere, you know. Just to get a handle on the plugins and the automation and everything about it. You just have to do it. And then you can tweak it. You can identify what do I like that I want to replicate or do more of in the future, or what do I want to expand more upon in the future and get better at, and what didn't I like about this. Why I don't know. But yeah, you just have to practice, and I'm trying to practice, but some days I do and some days I don't. Phoenix said, do you think that coronavirus humans taste as good as non-infected people? I truly don't know, my friend. Oh, Ray said, I'm working on a theme for Golden Age Radio so I can monetize our streams with YouTube's broken music copyright system. That's cool. I know the copyright system is so screwed up. Like, things that were marked as royalty free for people to use, have inexplicably, like, people just change whether something is royalty free or not, and then they take everybody's royalties. Like, they deceive people, you know? It's like marking something as being public domain, waiting till everybody has used it as public domain, and then suing everybody for violating your copyright. It's so dishonest. Oh, I'm sorry. You were reminding me about Ver, but he already did. Okay, I got you, homie. I see. Yeah, exactly. Dumb Ben Showers said, Twitter so depressing and rage inducing, but so addicting. It absolutely is. I know I'm almost at the bottom. I caught up to you, bitches. Um, Dylan said, Google Earth is kind of trash. It's not great. Like, I think the last time I messed around in it, like, they update it every couple of years. Like, their satellites take all new images every couple of years, and a lot of them are hard to use. Like, if you're trying to look at, like, your old house or your old school, or, like, I've always tried to see, like, was my car parked outside of this place I lived at this time when they took the picture? It's hard to see a lot because of all the foliage, you know? Ugh, I'm sorry. I know I'm gross. Mad Matt said, lol, every time Mort looks at the camera, she sees another blemish. I know. What is the circumference of a moose? I do not know. I truly don't. Hi, Nemo. I didn't know you were gone, but I'm glad you're back. Dylan's moving to North Dakota. Very cool. Oh, I don't feel very good, you guys. I might have to go to bed soon. Oh, boy. Phoenix said, I'm going to get a drone and take some video of the areas I travel to. I don't know what content I should make, though. I want to make gun videos, but I can't have one in the truck. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is literally cool. That's a very chilly place, isn't it, Dylan? You technically didn't leave. Oh, you muted it. That's right. Well, thank you for leaving me on, dude. I appreciate that. Oh, interesting. Race said, if you get your music uploaded to a music distributor like amuse.io, they will claim the copyright and the ad revenue on your behalf, and you can get paid for your videos. Woo! Yes, please do send a tutorial. That's very interesting. Why are you still a mod, Nemo? Because I hate myself and I like chaos. I like mayhem and pandemonium. That's all. What was it? M&D, they called it in Xiaolin Showdown, Mayhem and Destruction. When Jack was, he was hiring other villains to work under him, they were talking about it, and they abbreviated Mayhem and Destruction as M&D. It was so cute. I need to rewatch Shaolin Showdown. It's been like 8 years probably since I watched Shaolin Showdown. That's horrifying. Oh my god. You sent it to Discord. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't dab in insomnia, Spinal Tap. Shame on you. You should do something to help yourself sleep. I say that, but what can you do to combat insomnia that you haven't already tried, you know? Shaolin Showdown was amazing. I have season 1 on DVD, and I know they finally released seasons 2 and 3 on DVD too. There was actually they like redid the show. They called it Shaolin Chronicles. And because the WB had the copyright for a bunch of the Shaolin Showdown stuff, Christy Hui, they had to change a bunch of the names of stuff for the show. Like all the Shen Gong Wu, they had to change the names of them, which was super confusing. And what they did is like they jumped back from the giant cliffhanger that Shaolin Showdown ended on. They jumped back like a season or a season and a half, and they added this new annoying character that looked like Omi, but it like, I don't know if it was male or female, but it like talked in a bunch of different languages, and its name was Ping Pong. Like, it was not that long ago that this like remake or new version of Shaolin Showdown came out. But can you imagine somebody naming a Chinese character Ping Pong in their show today? They would get canceled so fast. Oh my god. But I loved it. Sartzer said, what's Shaolin Showdown? Let me find it and show you. I'll find like the Wikipedia page. It was a fantastic like WB cartoon. Okay, good. It comes up right away. Shaolin Showdown was fantastic. I was freaking obsessed with Jack Spicer. I was obsessed with him. Like, because I brought a ton of my, like, childhood stuff and just, like, almost all of my stuff with me, like, when I moved out. And it's all basically, like, none of it's been abandoned anywhere when I moved. It's all come along with me every time I move. But yeah, look, I have this. I drew this. It's all crinkled up. But I drew this stupid picture probably when I was like, I drew this when I was in like middle school, and I never colored it. I like drew it in pencil and then outlined it in ink. It's this like ancient drawing of Jack, but with longer hair. And he's just survived without getting destroyed every time I moved. And I just, like, I always mean to like redraw this like redesign of him with longer hair and like a nice jacket and a scarf. I draw everybody in like peacoats and scarves. I draw like Zim in a peacoat and a scarf like every winter. I just do that to characters, and I don't understand what compels me or possesses me to do so, but I like the sheer volume of fangirling I did over Jack, the amount of just like self-insert fanfiction I never published anywhere, all the drawings I did of Jack, all the drawings I did of like myself as a Shaolin Showdown character, like blushing at Jack, is insane. Like, he is one of the characters I hardcore fell for as a kid. And he's just an incompetent, like, that's the first place I ever heard the word simpering. So when people started calling people simps on the internet, the first thing I thought that simps were people who were simpering, not simpletons, you know? But like, Jack was the epitome of like a bumbling, idiot, cowardly villain, and I absolutely fell in love with him. And to this day, he's one of the main reasons why I love bumbling, incompetent villains. They have my whole heart. They truly do. I loved Clay. He beat up a mime by beating himself up. Dude, the mime episode of that was so cute. That was like the first or second episode, actually. Raymundo. I know everybody loved Raymundo. I loved Raymundo too. And I loved, in the year of our Lord, like 20 is it okay to like say Shaolin Showdown? Spoiler. The show came out, what, 17 years ago? Um, but yeah, I loved that at the end of Xiaolin Showdown, like, Omi was obviously the main character, but Omi was he was very arrogant and very foolhardy. He was so arrogant. And Raimundo had this insane character development arc. Everything comes back to like children's shows with me. Jesus Christ. I need to see a psychiatrist. Um, but but yeah, like Omi was really arrogant and he was kind of insufferable at times. He was such a know-it-all. And Raimundo, he went through like he was super self-conscious and insecure as one is as a young teenager. He was so see I don't even remember exactly, but I think he was so overwhelmed and consumed by his feelings of inadequacy and insecurity that he went evil for a while. And he actually was such a decent person that he overcame that and came back to the good side. And he grew so much as a character. He went through such a transformation and he matured so much that like toward the very end of the show when they had to pick like a leader before they went up to their next like belt color level as apprentices, like he was picked as the leader instead of Omi, and Omi was devastated. And I thought that was fascinating. Like that was such a fascinating, refreshing subversion of expectations for not for the main character to be selected as the leader of the group. And I really liked that. I just loved shows like that that didn't condescend to you because you were a child watching them. I appreciated that about it. And obviously I had a crush on Wuya, kind of. She's awful. I hate her guts, but she was kind of hot. But Xiaolin Showdown is one of those shows that I remember a ton about because it was such a huge part of who I was. It really was. Excuse me. Chase Young was your I can't say that word because I'm Caucasian, though, Nemo said. Dude, Chase was super hot. Oh my god. I rewatched it when I was older and I was like, you know, I kind of outgrown Jack's immaturity and I was like, oh my god. Dude's hot. I don't know how many thousands of years old this sinister evil mastermind is, but oh my god, he's hot. Aw, Phoenix said you're pretty talented at drawing. I can draw you a fine stick figure, but that's about it. Well, that's okay. There can always be more fine stick figures in the world. There's a mime episode. No, the mime is not a girl, Jimbly. No more mime waifus for you, good sir. Oh, that's evil. Cabaret asked, so who would you pick if you had to choose between this Jack fellow and your boy Vlad Masters? Do you guys know? You guys know, I think I posted one too many pieces of fan art of Vlad. Like, Butch Hartman followed me on Instagram, and I posted too many Vlads, and he unfollowed me like 2 or 3 years ago. If I had to pick between Jack and Vlad Masters, well, we all know that if you like an underaged drawing or an underaged cartoon character, you literally have to be put on a list and can't live too close to school. So I can't say Jack for that reason. I can't say like if I had to pick a favorite, just objectively, Cabaret, I don't know. Cause like Vlad, I love Vlad, but I think I like my interpretation of Vlad more. Like if I wrote episodes of Danny Phantom that were like a little more mature, a little darker, like the way the show would have gone if Butch hadn't driven off the guy who made the show what it was over like shipping stuff. I wish I could remember his name. I'm so sorry I can't. But like I think like the Vlad I'm in love with is the Vlad that could have been. Like, you know how a lot of kids shows imply things or things can be inferred that obviously would never be addressed or covered in the shows. I think the Vlad that would have been if he was real is like the character that I love. I think I love like the fandom's interpretation of Vlad. I think I'm more like in love with my interpretation of Vlad as a character than the kind of silly, uppity, bougie bad guy that was in Danny Phantom, you know? I need to like make my own cartoon. I need to make my own show or my own like graphic novels or something because I have so much passion for these fictional characters. I love analyzing them. I love talking about them so much. Um, if you guys followed me on Instagram, you'd see me talking about Dobby nonstop. I'm obsessed with Dobby right now. Um, and I haven't watched Yellen Showdown in so long that I don't know. I don't know about Jack. I don't know. I love him to death, but he's an idiot. He's an obnoxious, pathetic, cowardly idiot, but he was also like such a savant in so many ways. And Jack was interesting because he was brilliant, but he was so stupid. He was super talented, but he was so isolated. Like he was really rich. Um, but how odd he was and how wealthy he was isolated him. And he wanted so badly to fit in, but he couldn't be good no matter how hard he tried. Like he always fell back to evil. And he was albino. You don't see albinos in anything ever. And he was albino. And they like there were things they hinted at about his character that they didn't show. Like it was strongly implied that like he was dyslexic and he just things like that. It was just charming little details that made him a much more tangible real character. Um but if I had to pick between Vlad and Jack, I don't know. I didn't get into Danny Phantom until like 2010. Like one of my best friends in high school got me the series on DVD and I really watched it the first time through. Whereas Shaolin Showdown, I watched it when it was age appropriate. I watched it like in early middle school. So I don't it's hard to compare how much I like characters from different phases of my life and different eras of my life, you know? Is lovesickness a childish thing? Asking for a friend, lol. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Man, that show looks familiar. I think everybody watched a little bit of Shaolin Showdown. I freaking hated that stupid talking dragon character. I detest like the stupid talking animal companion in most shows. I hate them so much. They're so annoying and insulting and condescending. I freaking hate them. Um, that's interesting, Spinal. The thing about the cauldron. That's fascinating. Did you ever watch Inuyasha? Lewis said, no, I never watched Inuyasha. It was a little girly for me. Um, I just wasn't into it. Like at the time Inuyasha was on, I was into stuff like Rurouni Kenshin more. Um, and the only thing that was on around that time that I'm really into is Yu Yu Hakusho, which is similar but different. You know, I don't know. But I no, I never watched Inuyasha. I never got into it. You had the biggest crush on Meg from Disney's Hercules when you were young. I didn't like Hercules at all as a kid, and I still don't really understand it. Like, I need to rewatch it so I can objectively kind of just absorb it as the piece of art it is. Absorb. Buh. I am I am just completely incapable of making words. Thoughts on the Legend of Korra ending? I didn't watch the Legend of Korra. I know that's horrible. But I watched the first like 2.5 seasons of Avatar, and the animation went from fluid to so choppy that I couldn't watch it. Like certain things, I don't know if it's a neurological thing, or like an eye thing, but certain things hurt my head so much I can't watch them. Like, have you seen the boomerang videos on Instagram that people make? The boomerang thing is where like it'll play a clip and then it'll play it backwards and it'll play it forwards again on this little loop. And something to do with my inner ear problems and my weird problems with my head as a kid. Like if I watch one of those boomerang videos, it makes my head pound and makes me panic and I don't understand why. And that's how Avatar was. Like they started getting really really cheap with the animation to where it looked like a flip book. or it looked like animation on paper with like 3/4 of the pages missing. So it was just like flames frames that were like jerking, and it was like flashing from one frame to another, and it didn't flow at all. Like when they started doing that with Avatar, I couldn't watch it anymore. It hurt my head so bad I couldn't watch it. And nobody knows what I'm talking about. But there's this new like DreamWorks show with like a little purple main character, this DreamWorks cartoon that they keep advertising on Twitter. And they do the same thing with the animation. Like it looks like Teen Titans and Ben 10. It's clearly that same studio making it. But that like weird like super jerky style where the movements are not fluid and it looks like a like bad flip book, like 1/3 of a flip book with most of the frames cut out. I cannot watch animation like that. It didn't matter how good Avatar was and how much I loved it. I cannot watch things like that. And I know that's bizarre and nobody knows what I'm talking about, but it has something, I know it has something to do with laying in the silence and the dark as a little kid in my room for hours and hours, just hearing, because of my inner ear problems, hearing my blood like pound in my ears and feeling this like weird, erratic, like violent, like jerking, slamming motion in my head that was just deafening. I know it had to do with my inner ear problems as a kid. I know it did, but like nobody knows what I'm talking about when I talk about not being able to watch Avatar because of that. And Korra was even worse because I watched a little bit of Korra and they did that same really lazy thing with the animation. And it just makes my head feel like it's pounding. It makes me feel like my brain is splitting apart, and I don't know what that is. But you know, I know it's awful and it's sad because I missed out on something really cool. But that's it. Dobby does not suck. You're stupid. You guys Instagram where though? I'll link my Instagram. Give me just a minute, you guys. Everybody follow me on Instagram, please. Because the person who beat me up so badly in 7th grade that I needed surgery and physical therapy to recover, they now are getting more likes than I am on my Instagram posts, and it makes me jealous because I'm a child. So please like all of my stuff on Instagram to make me feel better. That's a joke, but it's not. Does Dobby dab though? No. Oh my god, I should show you guys. This is so stupid. But they're like, oh my god. Oh my god, that thumbnail is 18 quintillion times worse than the last one. I'm going to show you guys the stupidest video ever. I'm going to link it in the chat. But like, you're like really deep into like the hellish part of fandom and you need desperate help when you find shit like this funny. Like you're like in the absolute like hellish like depths of fandom when anything with the characters you like with the faces of the characters you like photoshopped over something is funny. You like, that is hell. That is like fandom hell. But I linked this dumbass, just excruciatingly idiotic thing just now that is hilarious. That I just found recently now that I'm like rewatching MHA and getting back into it because of this whole Horikoshi thing. Excuse me. Dojo was funny though when he got big and breathed fire. Hype. I disagree wholeheartedly, good sir. I thought Dojo was really annoying. You gotta be at least 18 to be an adult movie star, right? You should be. You absolutely should be, Dylan. Or you could get in big trouble and anybody watching gets in big trouble, as they should. When it comes to fan fiction or Shadman stuff, that's different. But if you're real, you can't be screwing around with that. Season 2 and 3 were great. Hannibal Bean was scary. I keep forgetting about him. God, he was awful. I despised him so much. I freaking despised Hannibal. This creepy freaking little bean with like a weird southern accent. He was awful. What was the like weird shadow world that they like trapped him in. No, he was trapped in it, and then they let him out somehow. And like good Jack was trapped in there, and they had to go in there. Oh my god, I just had like this crashing flood of memories. I freaking hated him. I hated him so much. I hated his guts. He was scary. Um, I know. Keep it to one message so it's easier for me to read. It's so easy for me to get behind, you guys. Um, RJ mentioned Ranma one half. I watched most of Ranma a couple years back, but I it sounds horrible to phrase it this way, but I was so drugged up that I have like a decade of time that I don't remember at all. And it's not like I was on illegal drugs or something, or I was being snuck something necessarily. I was on the highest dose of antidepressants you can be on, Zoloft specifically, for so long that like I think Miss Undoomed actually told me this. But if you're on a high enough dosage of Zoloft for a long enough time, it has a sedative effect. So I was basically fighting through being medically sedated for like 10 years of my life. And so much stuff that I watched in that period, from when I was like an older teenager to a young adult, I remember nothing. Like, I'll watch movies that I know I watched with my mom or friends or my fiance, and I don't remember anything about them. I just, like, my memory's really, really bad as it is. I have a really, really bad grasp on the passage of time. And my memory is just really foggy, and I'm super disoriented. And, so it was like exponentially worse because I was on this medication so long, and I had no clue. I had no clue. I needed to be on antidepressants. It helped me. That in conjunction with therapy saved my life. But like, you don't know the side effects of things, and I don't think doctors adequately prepare you for the potential side effects of stuff. So like, I truly remember nothing about Ranma, even though I watched it. Geodes doesn't think I missed much by skipping Korra. Black Romeo said, I can't stand Inuyasha. I don't like the dynamic between him and his love interest. Kagome, was that her name? It was too abusive for my liking. I know very little about it except like a bunch of the girls in school. I was like, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're like, I like Inuyasha. Like, they also liked anime and got bullied for it, but they were still like above me. I'm not saying they thought they were. I'm just saying they literally were, because I was just like freaking scum. I still use my Yu-Gi-Oh comforter. That's the blanket I have on my bed. I'm not even reading that out loud, Spinal Tap, the pterodactyl joke. You should be ashamed. um, Zeralath said it takes 26 frames per second to create motion. That's interesting. Well, yeah, I know like 30 FPS is kind of the standard for a lot of things. Banned for illegal puns. Exactly, Jimsley. You tell him. Black Romeo said Korra was trash and the ending was a non-ending. I'm so freaking stuffed up, it's insane. The whole lesbian ending is mystifying to me. I don't see it at all. I just see two chicks go into a portal together. I guess that means lesbian. I don't know much about it either. I know that like Korra basically like dated and made out with every single person in her little like traveling group. That was the impression I got. And I mean, it's fine they did like the whole like lesbian representation, I guess, in the show. If it's for older teens, I'm not offended by it. Um, but yeah, all I knew is that people were like screaming about it and drooling about it because there was lesbian representation. Like, it takes more than two girls kissing or whatever to be like authentic, believable, whatever. You know what I mean? I thought they kissed, though. I thought they kissed Black Romeo. I thought it was like a big deal, because they like kissed and got together and they were like the first lesbian couple in a kids show or something, whatever. I know people were all excited about that. I heard about that when it ended. Painkiller 1988 likes cookies. Rock on, my dude. Very cool. Wait, who beat you up? Nemo said. It it's a long story. I've mentioned it. There are little kernels of it in my previous live streams if anybody ever wants to like stalk me and see everything. But oh, clicking the link kicked you out of the stream. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know why it does that. YouTube is just like garbage now. It didn't used to be that way. It was a hard situation because it was somebody I couldn't get away from. They were in my friend group from when I was little, and then we got into high school together, and a bunch of my friends basically picked this person over me because they were just more fun. They were uninhibited, they were crazy and spontaneous. So, like, even though my friends saw this person bully me hideously, they all picked this person over me. And just because of our, like, weird situation with our families, I couldn't get away from them. And this person kicked me in the back of the knee so hard that my kneecap dislocated and relocated itself while I was falling to the ground and tore a bunch of the tendons in my knee, and I needed surgery and physical therapy. And it was one of those things people are like, why didn't your parents sue them? Why didn't they press charges? They just didn't. You know, they didn't want to like create waves. They didn't want to cause problems. So this person got away with it, you know, and it was one of those things. It was like because they had a troubled childhood, all of the horrible bullying things they did to me. Like this person, even like when we were kids and when we were teenagers, like we would kind of roughhouse like you do when you're kids. But this person like strangled me because I wouldn't give them my phone and let them like text things to people as me. Um, you know, this person told people like my deepest, darkest secrets that they knew from my childhood. This person spread a rumor that I was stalking one of my teachers in high school. Like, this person did things to me, and when I look back on them, I'm like, I get why my brain is the way it is. I get why I'm as screwed up as I am because of things like this, and because of how utterly powerless it makes you feel when everyone who should take your side against shit like that doesn't. Every single person that you think you can count on to defend you doesn't. And it's one of those things where it's like I harbor no ill will toward this person because they did have a screwed up childhood too, but it's like so did I. I had a really screwed up childhood too, and I never treated people like that to try to feel better about myself. Um, you know, but they got away with it basically because of that. So it's just one of those things, you know. It just sucks and it's hard, but whatever. Follow me on Instagram, you guys. I'm not an e-girl, I promise. 1500-year-old puzzle box, wasn't it? Something like that. Was it 15? Everything was like the same number of years. Was it 1500 years? Uh Hannibal turned Chase Young evil. I forgot about that. Holy crap. RJ said that she has multiple Instagram accounts. I have one. I can only maintain one at a time. How has the recovery with Zoloft been? It's been good. I'm finally, it took years for me to really feel like I don't have it in my system and screwing up my brain anymore. But like I cry at everything now. I cried everything like a real grown woman. Like I'm rewatching season 4 of My Hero Academia, and like the episode about Lemillion, I just had tears streaming down my face when all the shit goes down with Lemillion. Um I cry at things. Like I see children finding out that their foster families are adopting them, and I just start bawling. You know, I see people save like broken, beaten animals from shelters, and those animals come back to life and are joyful again, and I cry like an idiot. You know, I talk about my friends and the people who love me and who I love and want to protect and am proud of, and I cry. Like I can't even allude to those things without almost crying, you know, but I can feel things again. I can feel actual, authentic emotion. It's not like something I'm so desperately trying to remember the feeling of anymore. I just feel, I can feel. I'm not numb, and it's spectacular. It's miraculous. But yeah, I'm off of it, Nemo, and I have been for a while. I'm on Wellbutrin now. Um, and Wellbutrin helps, but I'm not medicated enough, or not. I'm not. It's not the sufficient like sufficient, is that the right word? I'm not on the correct cocktail or combination of things right now. I need to talk about all that cognitive testing I had done when I wanted to get an autism screening, and the doctor was like, "You are nuts, and I'm going to test you for everything." Um, I need to go over all that because I said I would, and I want to discuss this stuff to help other people potentially get the help they need too. But like the main thing he was really concerned about was how severe my depression is, even on medication. He cared about that a lot more than any of the other test results or the things that I was strongly implied to have through the testing. Uh, so my depression is still really, really severe, but it's better than it has been in as long as I can remember, truly. Yeah, that's what happened to you on Prozac 3 or 4 years ago. That's scary. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Um, you recommend Fist of the North Star, which I've heard of, and Record of Lodos War. You said anime D&D. The antidepressant that worked with me had the feeling I was on weed again. Interesting. The others didn't do anything. Yeah, it is. It is fascinating how different people's body chemistry is. Like, I was talking to this dude the other day. He's the funniest guy. I was talking to this guy who, obviously he knows a bunch of people who've had cancer, as everyone does. And he knew this guy. It was like his brother-in-law or something who was put on these cancer drugs to try and slow the progression of it down. And these cancer drugs help people live for like 10 years, to like 2 to 10 years longer than they would have without it. And it accelerated his cancer so much that he was dead in 2 weeks, like from this drug. Like, people's body chemistry is so different that you can have like the exact explicit opposite effect from someone else from the exact same medication. It is mind-boggling to me how different and varied our bodies are. It's insane to me. Um, Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh was cute, and the story for the first arc was pretty good. You like the Dungeon Dice monsters and the Alexander the Great story arcs the most. I like the Dungeon Dice monsters thing, kind of. I don't remember which story arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh I liked the best. I have not watched Yu-Gi-Oh since it was on TV. That's how long it's been. But I had a massive crush on Joey as a kid, and I had a massive crush on Kaiba when I was older, because I just like people who are pricks, to be perfectly honest. Um, FedEx and UPS are going to merge. They're going to change their name to FedUp. I thought you were going to say it was part of the dimensional merge. They know what's coming. Um, I know Jared postulated on Twitter that the coronavirus is probably part of the dimensional merge that's coming. What are you doing, camera? Thank you. I'm gonna laugh my ass off when the dimensional merge happens and all you guys are terrified as you're torn apart atom by atom. I'm gonna laugh until I am nothingness in the void, because I knew what was coming and you were all fools. Favorite Power Rangers season? I have not seen Power Rangers. Anything of it. I know that's horrible. Uh, It's like the YouTube management broke the site. It's true. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I think they're every one of these big social media monopolies, they're hustling so hard to try and keep Trump from winning this upcoming election. They're so busy like shadow banning people and programming stuff on the back end to force the leftist propaganda on everybody and suppress people like you guys and me, that they're letting the front end fall apart. Like the code of Twitter and YouTube is falling apart, and it's because I truly believe it's because they're pulling all their resources behind the scenes to do all the shady shit that they deny happens. Why does my camera keeps like flicking from warmer colors to this icky green color I am now? I don't know if it does it for you guys. I don't know if you guys can see it on my stream, but it drives me nuts watching myself in OBS. It did it. I saw it. Haha. I saw it in the streaming window. Stupid camera. I'm going to get a new webcam when I get my tax returns, and then we're going to be in business, I promise. But yeah, RJ, it's true. They did break the site, and they don't care. Like, when they're actually letting things conspicuously fall apart, you know things are bad. And I truly believe it's because they're scrambling to shadow ban and suppress everybody behind the scenes because they're terrified Trump is going to win again. And they're trying to push certain messages and suppress others. You were going to ask about suing, and I already answered. Yeah, it sucks. Stuff like that really screws with your head when nobody will advocate for you or stick up for you. And I'm not bitter. I don't fault any of these people. I had somebody apologize to me like a year and a half ago who was one of my best friends at the time and had no clue how bad it was. And I felt bad too because I don't feel that way anymore. You know, I don't want anybody to regret something. Everybody's stupid in high school. As far as the people my age who didn't help me, I don't fault them. I was stupid and selfish and awful in high school too. But like when your own parents and the adults that are supposed to protect you when you are powerless won't, it does things to your brain that you spend your whole life trying to identify and understand and undo. It really does. I know, better not tell me where this person is. Yeah, I told my fiance about it, and he was like, if I ever meet this person, I'm going to beat his face in. And I was like, no, no, you better not. You really better not. But yeah. Exactly. Having a screwed up childhood isn't an excuse to screw up someone else's. It exactly. And mine wasn't as screwed up as that person's. To be fair, in some ways it wasn't, and in some ways it was worse. You know, you can't compare. You can't, and you should never try and compare trauma and feel. You should, if you let yourself feel like your feelings are invalid because other people have had it worse, then everybody but one person on the planet at every given moment, all of the problems they deserve to be able to work through and overcome are invalid. You know, you can't think that way, but it hurt me a lot, mentally more than physically, you know. It just, stuff like that really sucks. Hi, Jarl. Oh god, it left the YouTube video at 0.75 speed. I'm all tinny. Dude, that's just the boogers in my nose. I have it on low latency, but that shouldn't affect that, I don't think. But I hope you're doing good, man. I apologize. I haven't been catching up with people at all. I feel really bad. It fixed it to normal, thank God. Okay. Good. Oh, you're on 2 meds and an antispasmodic. Oh, wow. Is playing Pokemon Go as a 37-year-old male to lose weight cool or not? That is freaking awesome, dude. Good for you. You're getting your daily dose of Pokemon and you're being active. I don't care how you're being active as long as you're not, like, molesting somebody, you know, or terrorizing somebody. It's any reason you're losing weight or any way that you are motivating yourself to respect yourself and take care of yourself more is fantastic. And you should be very proud of yourself. I see Neil Breen movies. The Infidel Minds are Justice League 2017, The Room, and Neil Breen. I've never seen Neil Breen. I love The Room, but I've never seen a Neil Breen movie in my life. You won't be able to hear our screams, at least when it happens. Yeah, because I'll be laughing my ass off with tears running down my face. What happens when I respawn in 2 minutes, though, Michelle, after the merge? You will be living in an unending hell, my friend. Do fish sleep? I think some do. Yeah, exactly. I'm like 12 minutes behind in a conversation. Oh my god. I'm like a real human being who's lagging. That's hilarious. You have been streaming in black and white. I have not, good sir. I have not. Doesn't matter if you're green, you're hot as hell. No horny posting in my chat, Dylan. A little late for that, but thank you. No, that's very sweet. The puppet strings are snapping, says Sartzer. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. The puppet strings are snapping, really seeing more people getting red pilled. It's fascinating. I I know people who have been Democrats since before I was born, like really far left Democrats who support Trump. And like the one guy came into my work and was talking about it, who I knew as a kid. He's like moved all over the country. And I just about fell out of my chair, you know? Um, it is insane. Like the people who, the individuals who are being red pilled blow my mind. It's amazing. Uh, I don't think we're going to be pulled into another world isekai style, but we'll see. Can we agree everyone looked hotter in high school? I don't think I did. I look pretty doofy. I I look hotter now because I'm thicker. Like I'm overweight, but I like how I look overweight better than I liked how I looked underweight. And I know you should always strive to be healthy, but I definitely prefer my figure and how healthy my face looks now. I was not hotter in high school. I looked doofy as heck, dude. Um, oh, Fist of the North Star was like the first DBZ style show where the main character was allowed to cry. Oh, wow. That's fascinating. I'll look into it, dude. I've heard so much about it. Thank you for recommending it. What else? Hi, check your logic. You were hideous. That's very sad. If there's a merge happening, it's Magog's fault. Probably. That is so shitty. I seriously believed all my problems were invalid. They weren't. They absolutely weren't. And it's never too late in your life to start like psychoanalyzing yourself and getting help, you know? And people look at it as this weird like indulgent victimizing thing to get help, but it's not. Every household is dysfunctional in some way. Some are worse than others, but every household is dysfunctional. Every family dynamic is dysfunctional in some way. Every parent, every sibling, every child is just a person struggling to keep their head above water and trying to survive. You know, everybody has dysfunction in their past, and everybody would benefit from going to a counselor and reading some self-help books. Everybody. That shouldn't be something that's stigmatized or reserved for people who identify as broken for some reason, you know. And you know, the best way to truly fulfill your potential and to truly become your own person is to try to face those things, those dark things in your past, and to identify them and to identify the dysfunction and the flaws in your parents and your guardians and family as just deeply flawed human beings that we all are. You have to recognize those things and acknowledge them in order to figure out how they made you who you are, and in order to overcome them and become a stronger person thanks to them. And you know that it's some people, that's something that people don't understand, but like everybody benefits from that. Everybody benefits from that. You cannot truly be empowered and truly recover and be your own person unless you are willing to do the work to recognize your own trajectory and recognize the things in your past that made you who you are, you know? It's one of the most exhausting and harrowing things in the world, but it's one of the most freeing, and I truly think everyone deserves the happiness that is brought about by doing that work. I truly think that you are worth the effort if you're watching this. I know that's super gay, but I mean it sincerely. Goodbye, geodes. I know you've gotta go. Have a good day, night, whatever it is. Hang in there. I wish you the best. Until next time, my dude. Green posting, are there orcs afoot? There were no orcs in our party, actually, tonight. I'm gonna get better at D&D. I'm gonna stick with my stupid elf persona, though, for a while, because it's hilarious. Oh, Jarl said I have gut problems, hence the antispasmodic, and no worries on not catching up on my stuff. Aw, I don't watch enough of anyone's stuff, so it's always like catching up for me. I get it, dude. I'm the same way. And it's like once you've made enough connections and once you have enough friends, it's like it's so hard to keep up with everybody. It's so overwhelming because the number of people you might have something in common with and want to support and have this mutual feeling with is limitless. You know, it's like if you try not to stream when anybody else you like is streaming, you'll never stream. Ever. I realized that early on. Like, if I don't want to just stop making videos and streams, I cannot be looking at it like I can't stream when anybody I respect is streaming or that's an affront to them. You can't look at it like that, you know? It's just hard. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. I'm going to go soon, you guys. I know that's the curse. That means I'm about halfway through the stream right now, but I truly am going to go soon. I gotta get me some sleep, yo. Check your logic said I'm only slightly better looking because of the hair and glasses, but that's not saying much. Please don't talk yourself down like that, you know. There's somebody for everyone, and everyone is beautiful in their own way. I know that sounds like an idiotic, like, meaningless platitude, but, you know, the only thing that's truly ugly is when people have ugly personalities. I mean that sincerely, and people who don't see you that way, it's better for you that your time is not wasted on them. Oh, I was fairly left-leaning, says Sartzer. Not anymore after 2015 when Trudeau was elected. Yeah, the VGC said, when I was a kid, high schoolers looked super old and mature. Now that I'm out of college, high schoolers look like tweens. I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like I have cousins who are teenagers, and I look at them and I'm like, they're babies. They look like a really amateurish, like, sculpture of a person that just has features slapped on. Like, it's amazing. The older you get, like, your features refine, and you look more chiseled, and you look more detailed the older you get. Your features do. It's fascinating, and you really don't see that as a kid, you know. Everybody that's a certain number of years older than you looks like an adult all the time, and you get to this age and, like, people who are even 20 look like babies to me. It's crazy. Like, centrist isn't red pilling. Yeah. Oh, if I get psychoanalyzed, the report would come back saying this guy's a grade 1 dumbass. That's sweet. Best comedy anime recommendation, said Lewis. It's not one you can watch in mixed company, but probably Golden Boy. Golden Boy is... I have no words. You just have to watch it, but you cannot watch it around other people. It's not something to watch in mixed company. End it now so I can sleep. I'm sorry, Nemo. I'm getting there, dude. I am. Hold on. I'm getting sleepy and my tummy hurts. Painkiller said, I often don't tell people this, but I was going through a tough time in high school for many reasons. I had depression and actually started planning my suicide ahead of time. I never got any medical help. I'm so sorry to hear that, dude. That's horrible. I got help, but it wasn't much help. But I made plans to, you know, in high school, and since then I've made plans, and I don't think I even realized that's what I was doing until I wrote a suicide note one time. I wrote this really long letter apologizing for letting everybody down as much as I did. And it took me writing most of it and then realizing that I was writing a suicide note to realize how bad things were. And I'm just truly sorry with everything in me that you were ever at that point. It's hellish. You don't deserve that, and you didn't deserve that. And I'm so sorry. What time is it where you at? It's 2:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Aw, Jimbly said there really is somebody for everybody, and I learned that recently for real. There truly is. That's so cute. Nemo said if I dropped like 60 pounds, I would be hot enough to lose 60 more. Aw. Check Your Logic said, I mentioned one traumatic incident from high school in Minions at the Zoo, and even then I doubted whether it should be called trauma. That sucks so much, and it's as much as it may be the fault of like kind of backward, old-fashioned blue-collar people who are like, if you're not bleeding, there's nothing wrong with you. It's so much more the fault of these people who have like fetishized mental illness and turned it into this like trendy get out of jail free card. It has just been, it's despicable that people have to question like I'm screwed up from this thing almost irreparably and it haunts me and I know it does, but is it a valid, is it actually trauma? It's horrible that anybody feels that way. And it's one of those things too, like I get it, you know, like there was dysfunction that I recognized from when it started as a kid. And there were other things that it's taken me the last couple of years to come to terms with, because it's like part of you can be in denial for so long about certain things, and it's like by acknowledging that certain things actually happened to you or were as unhealthy for you as they were, it's like you are re-traumatized by things by facing them for what they were. And that's exhausting too. It's so hard. I didn't get any help from any of my friends either, said Painkiller. But I was able to get over my depression when I thought life was worth living just for those small moments of joy. Well, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you were able to see it that way and you were able to find the resolve to fight for yourself because of that. Oh, that sounds really cute. Been watching the channel Neckbeardia. How cute. They do 4chan and tabletop stuff. Very cool. It's official. 8 people want to see you on Golden Age Radio as a guest. Oh, how cool. Yeah, I would love to come on sometime. Just message me on Discord. I know you've been doing so. I've got it pulled up here, and I will get back to you, and we will try to plan it out soon. I'm so sorry, you guys. My stomach is messed up. I gotta go to bed soon. Oh, hi, Vincent. You look like a baby to me. Are you saying that to me, Bianca? Oh, sorry, I'm burping. I know it's gross. I sound like some weird old person with indigestion. And you said like every 7 years you are a completely new person on a cellular level, and every 18 years you have a mental transformation, North Node in astrology. Interesting. Hi, Ryder. I tried to write a suicide note last month and failed. Lol. Freaking Jimbly, if you ever like check out on me, I will never forgive you. I will find you in the afterlife and make your life hell. You stay here, you dickhole. Or else. Or something. I'm a good motivational speaker. I'm very good. What else is going on? What did you miss, RJ? Just a lot of rambling, dude. All kinds of nonsense. Nothing special. Shimoneta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist, is great. Is Shimoneta the one I think it is? Shimoneta? Here, let me pull it up here in another tab. Is that the one with the girl with the panties on her head? Yeah! Yes! I watched the first episode alone of Shimoneta, and it blew my freaking mind. It is hilarious. That's a phenomenal, like, for modern, really genuinely funny anime, watch Shimoneta. It is so funny. I'm so sorry, Zaralath. You were forgotten last night. Thank God you only met her a week ago. Well, if you were forgotten, you know, then it's probably a blessing in disguise, or a blessing as attuned to you are to things like that. It's not a disguised blessing to you. I'm sure that it happened the way it did. And it didn't go on longer and wasn't prolonged, you know? Oh, Check Your Logic said it's a long story, but I essentially got detention for something I didn't do, and it didn't really make me suicidal that much. Yeah, but things don't have to make you outright suicidal to be traumatizing. Plenty of people go through hellish traumas and are never suicidal. You can't compare your mental state to other people's in that way to determine the worth or the significance or the impact of something on you. Uh, Shit like that'll screw you up. Being blamed for and punished for things you didn't do has a massive psychological impact on people. That's a very valid reason to have been impacted, I guess. Yeah, Jarl said people used to get pissed at me when I'd stream when SideQuest had an hour or half hour left. And I get that. Like, I understand it. It's like a valid opinion, obviously, if people don't like when friends stream at the same time as them. But you, it's like you can't look at it like that. You can't not stream because other people you like are streaming unless you have some mutual, like, explicit agreement not to. Um, like you just got to do what you got to do. And I don't know if you're like me in that regard, Jarl, but it's like um if you're anything like me, like when the creative muse hits you, you have to do it then. Like I can't just turn it on and stream all the time, and that's one of the reasons SideQuest is so mentally exhausting to me. Like you have to do it when the muse is there, when the motivation and the energy and the inspiration is there, or it's gone and it was wasted. Um, that's how I am at least. Ooh, check your logic. That first part is something I know people who've been through that exact thing. There was a girl I had a crush on. There was one day when I was called over by a friend of hers I didn't even know. She said she could help me with my crush. I got called into the office later that week. I think it was a harassment complaint. I got detention, and this was the incident I mentioned in the live stream. Something like that will absolutely screw you up, dude. That will screw, because it's not just that you got punished for something, it's that people believed something about you that wasn't true to the point where it had a tangible impact in the real world. I've had that happen. I had rumors spread about me that I was stalking a teacher, and um, because that person I mentioned earlier was close to me and was in my friend group, most of the rumors spread about me I didn't hear about till years later because I wasn't popular. I didn't talk to anybody, so I didn't know. And people didn't want me to find out because then their fun would be debunked and they knew most of the stuff wasn't true. Um, but it was like because the person who told everybody I was this lunatic stalker was close to me, everybody believed them because they were like, that person knows her. Obviously they know what's going on in her life. They're trustworthy. And their other thought was like, why would that person lie about her? They have no reason to. So I get it. I absolutely get it. Stuff like that screws you up. It bothered me. It affected me for years, knowing that people, and it's just like they're scumbag, narrow-minded, very little people. But when that's your whole world, when you're trapped with those people day in and day out, it doesn't matter that they're people inconsequential to you in the long run whose opinions don't matter. You can't make them not matter at that time. It's awful. Um, what else is going on? I'd like to voice chat with you sometime. All right, we'll have to talk about that later. Um, did your friend Lover get banned on Twitter? No, she deactivated for a while, Nemo. I think it's exhausting. Um, and I don't blame her because yeah, I'm sorry, you saw it. But yeah, it's like, I would be messed up by that too. Like she had maybe 5,000 followers on Twitter, And then she tweeted something really funny, and then Justin Wang retweeted her, and then Dankula retweeted her, and she's been getting like 100 followers a day ever since. Like that's something that nobody is capable of adjusting to effortlessly, and most people would have a hard time with. And like I don't know if I would be able to handle that mentally, just the amount of eyes on you growing exponentially like every month. I don't think I could handle that. And I admire her for, if it's not good for her, if she doesn't have the time to deal with all those people right now, there's nothing wrong with prioritizing just not dealing with it and putting more important real things first. True Crime Story said, missed most of this torturing myself by watching Cats. Oh, I love Cats. Mistakes were made. Dejen said, back in school, I regularly got detention for things that never even occurred. It was always the same teacher telling the school I had to threaten suicide to get out of that class. Ugh, that's horrible, dude. Some teachers are monsters. Some teachers are absolute monsters. Exactly, yeah. Like Vincent said, I have had a lot of trauma and haven't tried to commit not alive. Exactly. Everybody's responses to things like that are different, It doesn't mean that your trauma wasn't real. It doesn't mean that it didn't have an impact on you, and it doesn't mean that you don't deserve to work through it and face it and overcome it and become stronger. Um Oh, hi Carl. How are you, dude? Um I'm so tired, you guys. My brain is blue screening here. I switched schools the year later and unfortunately had a similar experience. That sucks, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, I'm so sleepy. I'm dying. Why are you talking about the British Empire? What's happening? Yes, yeah. Single player Carl said, a lot of people don't realize a lot of people have many reasons to do things at that time and age. Only gets worse in life. Yeah. Oh, Ryder said, why haven't we seen your husband? You say you have. Well, I was joking about my Dobby plushie being my husband because I'm a horny freaking lunatic and I love normie anime and I love cliche bad guys. But my fiance, you haven't seen him because he's very private. He's not comfortable being shown on camera. He's just not comfortable with it. And I used to really want him to be on camera, but I respect him. I understand why he doesn't want to be on camera, and I'm not going to pressure him. And the more I talk about stuff like politics, the more I don't want the people I love to be associated with me publicly either. And we've talked about maybe doing a podcast, like obviously just a voice thing, and we might someday. But I'm not going to pressure him if he doesn't want to be affiliated with my public persona for more for my sake than his. He's more worried about me, but I respect that. I'm not gonna pressure him into it. Um, I also think if he ever wants to do anything in regard to social media or anything creative like this, he wants to build an audience on his own merit. He doesn't want everybody to just like glom onto him because they're like, who's the guy she's with? Hi, Corey Sosuke. Oh, wow. Oh, Vincent said sophomore year, I got expelled because I thought I was going to be a school shooter, but this was around the Columbine incident. Yeah, it's all that stuff was nuts around that time. The environment was crazy. The atmosphere rather, not the environment. Um so when are y'all dating though? What do you mean? Me and Ver, we're not dating. We're both in committed monogamous relationships. We're just e-wives. We're just e-girlfriends. You're sleeping now. Good night, Nemo, my sweet prince. You found Ver through Dankula. Really? That's very cool. Yeah, it was crazy to see. Like, she got 8,000 followers overnight. I would have like an ongoing panic attack for a week if that happened, truly. Yeah, Carl said growth like that is scary on Twitter. Yeah, me, I adjusted via shit posting and making content out of the interactions. Yeah, yeah, and you do a very good job of it too. You know, you've made a name for yourself very fast, and it's impressive, really. It's interesting to see Poe too. Like Poe has gotten really, really popular. The format and the nature of his content is something that people are interested in, and in some ways I envy people who have grown faster. In other ways, I'm like, no, no, I don't know if I could handle that stress. And just the entire nature of your experience with the social media changes as your level of viewership changes. It changes in ways that you truly can't anticipate, no matter how much you try and prepare yourself. I'm sorry to hear that. Check your logic. That sucks, dude. Face reveal one. Never. Kitty reveal one. You guys have seen some of my cats. No brap reveal. You degenerate. Yeah, there's a lot of people, like the people I deal with, who use that kind of boost as social climbers. Oh, hi, Cynic. How are you, dude? I know, it is interesting, and it's like, I just can't play the game. Like, I can't, and that's why my channel's growing slowly. I'm not going to suck up to people. I'm not going to pretend to like people to get more views. I'm just going to be my authentic, annoying, weirdly autistic self, and it's like, I'd rather have the slower growth that I can handle psychologically, and as far as the amount of time I'm willing to invest in the social media stuff. And I can't play the game, man. I see people do it, and it's like, if I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it, but I think you know what I mean. I've seen people, oh, good night, Painkiller. I'm sorry I missed you. But yeah, like there's somebody who hated her. There's somebody who went after her. It was an adult film star who does really crappy amateur stuff. And I wouldn't dislike them if they hadn't been so awful to her. But there was somebody who like freaked out and was super jealous of her, and they sent all their fanboys after her to ruin her life. And now she did that when Ver had like 3,000 followers on Twitter. And now that Ver has 40,000, she started retweeting all her stuff. And it's like, it's so transparent that you don't like her. Like, you didn't personally apologize to her or whatever, not that I've heard of. It's like, it's so obvious that this person is threatened by Ver because she's been growing exponentially, because she's gorgeous and sweet and her content is likable. Like, you're obviously trying to position yourself to kind of siphon off of her fan base to make sure that if she ever were to come after you with a vengeance, she wouldn't flatten you to the ground. Like, I don't think she would ever do anything like that, but people are so transparent and slimy, and it feels like a contradiction to say people are transparent and disingenuous, but it's like they don't realize how obvious they're being and how slimy they're being, and I don't know. People are nuts. I can't do it. I can't play the game. I can't, and I won't, I'm not capable of, I don't have it in me. I can't pretend to like people. I won't disrespect people that I don't like by pretending to like them either. I won't do that. It's just against I am a lawful neutral, the things I believe in are psychotic, but I believe in them strongly. It's like, comment, and subscribe. That's the shit you see or whatever. Oh yeah, you have Asperger's and that. Yeah. Yeah, having those things happen to you left a much deeper scar on you. Yeah, it's very hard. And it's hard too because people who have Asperger's or more severe forms of autism, severe is not the right word, but it is hard because we really don't get the help we need. We don't get the resources we so desperately need. And if I was a male, a lot of the things I've done would be seen as like psychotic and stalkerish, things that I did completely cluelessly and innocently and naively. And it just sucks. You know, we don't get the help we need. We don't get an adequate amount of resources to help with things like that. And it makes it hard. You know, things like that are awful. Oh my god, 8,000 show up in Mort's Twitter, just one echoing hello as she runs for cover. Yeah. I'm sorry, I have indigestion. This is why I don't have a bigger channel. I'm dying. Yeah, Carl said, honestly, there are some people who I envy when it comes to content, but you can't look gift horses in the mouth. Exactly. Like everything that you envy comes with a whole host of problems you never could have imagined or prepared for, you know? Yeah, same logic, high functioning autism with me. You miss blessings staring at others' bounties. Exactly. That's so true. And it's like, I think about it and I'm like, I know my channel's going to keep growing. If I asked some of the people I'm friends with and talked to for collabs, my channel could get much bigger, but I'm not. I just don't have the nerve for it at this time. And I just don't really know how to talk to people like that. And, you know, I've got like a guess as to how many subs I'm going to have at the end of this year. I think my channel's going to grow very slowly, but I know people who have millions of views on their videos. Some of my best friends are people like that, and you know, their channels blew up, but it's not sustainable. Like when people come to you because they know you from one thing, it's not sustainable, because inevitably the more parts of yourself and the more of your opinions and your creative works you reveal, the more people are going to be disenfranchised because you're not that one idea they got of you from that one thing. When people get a very, very gradual, thorough, kind of broad view of who you are as they slowly accumulate, you can cultivate your fan base. You can get a group of like really cool people like you guys who mesh well together, who, like, my little community of you guys is growing authentically. You know, it's not people who just see a funny meme and all like shoot together and then I'm at the mercy of all these people I barely know. You know, it's like having an audience of people, a very small audience of people who I know intimately and trust, and who we have a genuine respect for one another, instead of like all of a sudden people just noticing you on stage and like several stadiums worth of people crowding in and scrutinizing you all of a sudden. I think that's the best way I can kind of convey it, you know. But I've talked to people who have gotten millions of views on their videos and they're like, what you have is more sustainable. What you have will last longer because it's not so volatile, I guess. And what I was going to say a couple minutes ago, my tangents are insane, but like, I know in a couple years when my channel is, you know, twice as big, 4 times as big, 10 times as big, who knows what the future will hold, I will miss this so much. I know I will long for these times when I could just talk to you guys and I recognized all your names in the chat, you know, and it was just like a room full of us hanging out and chatting with one another. I will miss it so much, and I'll be so grateful for every phase of this that comes, but I will miss this, and I will, you know, that's part of the reason why my Discord is teeny tiny, because I like it's manageable, and I like here. Is that okay? There we go. That'll expire in 1 day. That's the kind of link that is. So, but yeah, you know, like, I'm so grateful for this, but I'll miss it, you know. I'll miss, whoa, what's happening now? Okay, there we go. I don't know what's happening. Dumb, stupid. You know what I'm saying, though. You guys get it. And yeah, we can talk sometime, maybe check your logic. I have unbelievable anxiety about voice chatting with people, but maybe we can sometime. You've been shut in for years due to your brain. I get it. I get it. It's hard. I'm not a shut-in per se, but I have in the past let myself get extremely isolated due to just being trapped in my own head and due to things I didn't have a diagnosis for or didn't understand, things that were controlling me that I didn't know how to counteract. Um, so, I get it. I'm so sorry. It sucks. I know it's not a solution, but I can say I sympathize and I'm so sorry. And just stay strong, hang in there. Bye, Ryder. Bye, everybody who said they were going to bed. All right, you guys, I gotta go very soon. I'm really sleepy. Oh yeah, I've noticed your other fans are kind of all right people. They are cool. You guys are cool. It's like my fans are like from Undoomed shouting out my video that one time, from Magog, from making my video where I was like simping for Oni plays. Um, a little bit of politics, a little bit of anime, a variety of different things. And it's like the combination of people I have here, you guys are genuinely some really, really funny, cool, likable, laid back people. A couple people from Margaret way back at the beginning. Jesus Christ. You mean the rest of you aren't here from her turning beet red over an alligator in a suit? Oh my god, dude, shut up. We're not talking about banging toffee right now. We're not doing it. I won't do it. It's so funny. Fucking dude, Carl, it's from fucking Star versus the Forces of Evil. I have a massive crush on the bad guy from that. That show single-handedly, a stupid cartoon for like 16-year-olds turned me into a scaly. I want to die. He's not an alligator, he's a septarian. That's racist. It's okay if you don't know how to use Discord. I don't either, and I run this one, so please don't feel bad. Stop, Jimbly. I'm going to take away your wrench. You're getting out of control again. I'm going to make you same offer I have for Joker, free tarot rune reading. Very cool. Okay. What? Don't dab. That gives you... You're not talking to me about dabbing. Whatever. Oni plays is the best. Watch them religiously. Do it. Chris is the freaking best. They're like the funniest, coolest people in the world. I would die for them. I would die for any of them. They're really, really, they're just cool people. They're very, very cool people. And the friends I have made because they are also fans of Oni plays are some of the sweetest, coolest people in the world, truly. Like, I'm just going to repeat that same thing like I always do when I'm like, yeah, I said that coherently. So I'm just going to repeat it and make it more impactful. But yeah, like the friends I've made because they're also fans of Oni plays are genuinely like the best cream of the crop, like 10 out of 10 high quality people. What else is going on? Just idiocy, which is fair. All right, you guys, I do have to go. I'm so sorry that I didn't get to all of your messages. Again, it makes me really uncomfortable. I'm not used to it, and I do not like not getting to everybody's messages. It's going to take me a long time to get used to that shit because I just don't like it. But I don't know. Freaking whatever. I'm glad you did the stream. I think it kind of prevented me from getting extremely depressed. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Jimbly. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for stopping by, dude. Thank you, Race. But I don't know. You guys know. Whatever. This is the chat that never ends. Shut up! I know. But, look forward to you reappearing on Top Keck soon. All right, Carl, we will talk about it soon. That was a lot of fun. I'd like to come back on again for sure. But yeah, whatever. Insert long, annoying, unnecessary 15-minute spiel here. Uh, Thank you guys so much for watching and being patient with me. I'm so grateful for all of your support and your kindness. And, you know, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not a weenie. I'm not a dumb little bitch who cries about friendship. But I'm more grateful for you guys. You mean more to me than you'll ever know. Um, I hope I hope you're all doing okay. You know, I've talked about it in the stream for once, but if today's been shitty, please resolve to make tomorrow better, because even if you don't think you're worth it, I promise you you are. You are worth more than any of you realize. I promise you. Uh, Yay! I'm sorry. I'm not crying. See, this is how I know I'm not like completely sedated from gargantuan doses of antidepressants anymore. I can get emotional like a real adult woman. Please like, comment, and subscribe or whatever. Obviously, you're commenting right now if you feel so compelled, and share my stuff. It means the world to me. And shit, man, I don't know. You guys are just the best, and please, please have a good day. Or at least try. For me. Try for my sake. Please. And don't make fun of me about toffee or I'll kill you all. Whatever. I don't know when I'll be back with my next video, because my MHA videos took a lot out of me. I'm creatively tapped out for the time being, but we will talk again soon. Thank you guys so much. If you guys come into my Discord, be good. Minimal mischief. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of you. Everybody be good, okay? Check out the rules before you get into any mischief. Whatever. I love you guys. Thank you again so much. Whatever. Fucking, I don't know. I'm sorry I said the fuck word. I didn't mean to, but I'm sleepy and I had margarita. Okay, whatever. Shit. I love you. See you again soon. Duh. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. I'm gonna click end stream now. Minimal mischief, fuckers, or else. Okay. Oh, I can swear now because Nemo went to bed. Whatever. Okay. Are you sure you want to end your stream? I think so. Am I ready? Is it time? Do I have to wait a little bit? Is there like a delay? Like, will it cut off mid-sentence if I don't freaking, you know? Okay. Yeah, I'm done. Bye.